Gibson. This is Two Men On with Van Numley and Fred Slow. Albuquerque is the sports animal, proud to be a Cumulus media station, even if they're not that proud of us.
Ron, you're up.
Okay, I'm up again. Here we go. Oh, I can hear myself in my ear now. Here we go. That's better. Sorry for the dead air, Duke City, but your boy is here with you now. Thanks for hanging in with us. Things don't always work perfectly in the back room, do they, Mikey? On the other side of the glass with me on the ones and twos, is super producer Mike Vitale, who can juggle too. I'm juggling some problems back there in the studio, but here we go, making some radio magic today on
Two Men. Good to have you back.
Well, thanks, buddy. Making some radio magic today on Two Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. It's a Fredless Wednesday. I'm going to have Fred back on Friday with us. But when Fred's gone, we bring in the big guns. Monday, as we always do, Mondays and Fridays, Robert Buck D. Gibson joined us. Today, star of TV and radio, back-to-back-to-back New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, KOB TV's very own Brandon Ortega joins us from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. I think we're having audio difficulties on the internet stream as well, so we're having a fun start here. We'll get it all figured out, and we'll be here with you, Albuquerque. I think the radio's working right now, so 505-246-0610. If I sound beautiful right now, let me know. I feel beautiful.
How do you like all this rain?
I do love the rain, my friend. Feels good, cooling off the house. I don't have to turn the air conditioner on high, which I told you on Monday. I just turned on my air conditioner.
That's nuts. You've gone, a couple of months without it, with all the dry heat. You've been able to survive that in your home?
Well, honestly, I like it. I like it running a little hot in my house. But I do it for other people, really. If I got my kiddo at the house, or my parents coming to town, or, I got friends coming over, I don't want them to be in my, diet sauna, sweating buckets while I'm just sitting there cool as a cucumber thinking everything's normal. So it's for you. I'm a caring, considerate friend, and I turned on my air conditioner for you, friends and family, so there you go. Got a great show today. Like I said, KOB TV's very own Brandon Ortega joins us starting next segment all the way up until 6 o'clock, and you got me and Mikey V talking sports in the 6 o'clock hour. I want to send a special shout out to Amarie Castillo for covering yesterday. She came in the clutch. I needed someone to cover at the last minute for reasons I'm about to get into, but I really appreciate Amarie stepping up yesterday, and I really appreciate Vitale, being a strong number 2 yesterday, and spoken word communications director Jared Hart coming in and helping out as well. As yesterday, I lost my pet of 16 and a half years. I had to put down my dog. I had a beagle that I picked out when he was 6 days old and brought him home when he was 6 weeks old. That's correct. He lived to be 16 and a half. Took him home when I was 6 weeks old, and he was my companion for 16 and a half years. And before I turn into a mushy mess here, I just want to tell you out there, Albuquerque, I want to tell you out there, Duke City, loyal listeners, friends of the show, that do not take your pets for granted. Do not take your time with them for granted. Spoil them every day, because those moments are special and they will not be around forever. Unless some tragedy or misfortune strikes you, you're going to outlive your pets and companions by quite some time, and make sure that your time with them is special. And now I think I will get off my soapbox and let that go before I start crying buckets on air. I don't believe my morning is good radio. So now on to the sports and sports adjacent content. Going to have some fun today. Before I move on, I want to send a special shout out to Gonzalez Mobile Vet. They did an amazing job yesterday. My dog got to go into the next part of his existence, whatever that may be, in the comfort of his own home, sitting on his back porch calmly and peacefully. He didn't know what was going on, but I was there to, help ease him into the next stage of his existence. And my daughter was there as well, and it was a very beautiful moment, and I was very thankful for everything that he's done for me and my friends and my family over his life. So shout out to my road dog, my #1, little guy, LG, Fliddles, DJ Fat Oprah, LG Durbitz Nunley. Rest in peace, little guy. You will be missed. Got a lot of great sports today. NBA draft coming up.
Tomorrow night,
that is right. We're going to give you our thoughts on the NBA draft. Katie Ledecky is just the bee's pajamas. She's the Usain Bolt of... Okay, more technical difficulties. Mike, you want to bring us to commercial before we start doing this? Check 1 2, check 1 2. Okay, I'll move over here for now. Looks like the #1 mic has some issues right now, so I'm just going to lean up. We got this one going too. Hello, check 1 2. Please bear with us, Albuquerque, as we don't know what's going on here. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Now we still got it going. I'll tell you what, how about we go to a commercial break and stay tuned with us as we attempt to fix these tech diffs. More sports adjacent content. 2 men on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Parking at the Sunport is getting pricey. Try airport parking instead. It's about half of what it costs at the Sunport Garage. Shuttles run every 5 minutes, 24/7. Take I-25, exit 221. Airport parking. Easier, quicker, smarter. This report brought to you by Airport Parking. Right now, good news on southbound I-25 at Cesar Chavez. Looks like that has been cleared now. We are still seeing slowdowns in that area, so you're going to want to be careful, but things should be getting back up to speed there. Everything else here in town looks good. Do want to make you aware, west of the city, if you're traveling out that way this afternoon, westbound on I-40, we're seeing quite a bit of delays and slowdowns. Those are going to start around Laguna. For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium.
Yours sounds good right now. Just keep talking. Don't move that microphone.
Location, they'll match the donation to support the New Mexico Fire Relief Fund. New Mexico's own Clark's Pet Emporium thanks you, Albuquerque, for 50 great.
Can you, okay.
But I can't hear me.
Clark's Pet Emporium.
Okay, so this was just fixed all.
And it's 767-9167.
So you can't hear me right now?
I can hear you now, but I can't hear me. Brandon, will you check my check?
They guarantee you'll pay less. I'm Michael Carlisle from the KOB Traffic Center.
The opening drive with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
How did Andre Iguodala earn NBA Finals MVP of that series?
That should have been Steph's MVP. And they should really retroactively go back and give it to him. And then all these people who are screaming that his resume is incomplete because he doesn't have an NBA Finals MVP can stop.
local talk. Weekday mornings from 7 till 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Hey, Dad. Cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Hey, I'm Ariana. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Spicy Southwest Salad is when I take a bite, it's like, wow, I'm getting a punch from the roasted corn. I'm getting a kick from the spicy chicken. It's just great.
Hi, this is Tori. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Cobb salad is the avocado lime dressing. It adds to the chicken, the bacon, and the roasted corn. It takes the salad to a whole nother level.
Order a salad for delivery on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
You'll never forget your first car. And you certainly will never forget your first car wreck. When this happens to you, you need an attorney who can help you get your car fixed, help you get all
Talk to me.
you need, and help you get all the money you deserve. Don't deal with the insurance companies without an attorney. They have teams of lawyers and adjusters whose sole job is to pay you as little as possible for your injuries. When you're in a wreck and you need a check, call Lerner & Rowe Injury Attorneys today. We'll work hard to get you all the money you deserve and to keep you out of the courtroom.
Insurance Research Council, July 2014.
Hey, Dad. Cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music.
You can't hear me at all. I can now, just now. Okay, there's just to let you know, don't slam or
That's for people 12 years and older after completion of a
don't hit the countertop, okay? Because that gets a short. So
by BioNTech and Pfizer.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with expertise and tools with Windows 11 to do incredible things. Because we believe you're an innovator in all of us. To do more with a Latitude laptop, Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Call the Dell Technologies advisor.
Stand by.
Ask Dell.
The Sports Animal is now 27 years old. What we're saying is, it's now not creepy to tell us how good we look for our age. Just remember, we're not that kind of station. Creeper.
Welcome back, Duke City. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. Mikey V fixing our issues, I hope. A little tech diffs last segment. Hope everything sounds great right now.
It sounds good now.
It sounds good now?
Yes.
It sounds good in my ear. But then again, it might not sound that great. I just like the sound of my voice. Ergo sum. That's why I do this for a living. Welcome back to the program again, one more time. Sorry for the tech diffs. We are back. And boy, am I glad to have Star TV and Radio, KOB TV's very own Brandon Ortega sitting right across from me. Welcome back to the program, buddy.
Radio is so fun.
Isn't it fun? Even like the tech diffs last segment are like, all right, we'll fix it. Let's roll.
There's nothing you can do when the
Commercial.
microphones don't want to work. You got to just, you're live. You got to keep going, dude.
Yeah.
You know? And you were doing it. So
I was doing it.
You're the man.
A lot in the sports world today. And also for you, you went to the press conference for the basketball tournament. A little J.R. Giddens action, a little Kenny Thomas action. What is the highlights from that?
Yeah, there's a lot of excitement for this coming up. So July 18th, the Enchantment take on the Panamaniacs, which is the alumni of the Lobos facing the alumni of New Mexico State basketball. And I mean, on top of that, this is the first time the basketball tournament, which has only been around less than 10 years, it's coming to Albuquerque for a regional for the first time ever. And I could think back to last year watching the Enchantment play somewhere out in the Midwest and social media being flooded, people saying, man, I wish there was a regional here. The pit could get rocking if a regional came here. And sure enough, the basketball tournament administrators took notice and collaborated with people at UNM, and here it is. So it's a few weeks away, and so I'll have a report about that tonight at 6 o'clock on KOB. And I heard from Kenny Thomas and J.R. Giddens, two Lobo legends that both made it to the NBA,
Right.
and are still in this community. In the basketball community in some fashion. J.R. Giddens is now the women's basketball coach in Northern New Mexico,
Right.
doing his thing, getting things going. Kenny Thomas is all over the place, including working for the Sacramento Kings as an analyst. So, that's the exciting news locally today, and we'll have a report about that on KLB tonight.
So this is a pretty loaded team. Like, I don't know how far back you have to go to get these amazing players, but J.R. Giddens, Ramon Martinez, Darice Gary, Philip McDonald, Darrington Hobson, Jamal Fenton, Drew Gordon, Cleveland Thomas, Joe Fursinger, Elijah Brown, Anthony Mathis, and Scott Bamforth.
He's the only one that didn't play with the Lobos, Bamforth. And Giddens in particular talked about him, is excited about the scoring ability he brings to the roster. But everyone else, former Lobos. And I think New Mexicans take a lot of pride in the history of men's basketball. And this is a great collection of talent. The furthest back you go is J.R. Giddens. He's the oldest guy on the team. And he showed last year, I think at 35 last year, he could still get buckets almost at command. And I think he's going to be looking to do the same this year, a year older. I want to say he's the oldest player in the regional, and he takes great pride in the great shape he's still in, and the high level of basketball he can still play. And then you think, as recently as Anthony Mathis, that's the only player on the team that I personally have covered here at New Mexico in Albuquerque, because I've only been here since before the 2019 season started. The 2018 season had just ended. That was Paul Weir's first year when I just got to Albuquerque. So I'm enjoying learning about the history of this team and what great history lessons I'll be getting the next few weeks, meeting these guys and learning more about their stories, what's going on in their lives now.
So last tournament, it was all Lobos, but now we got one single solitary non-Lobo, Scott Bamforth from Weber State. What's his connection to the team? Like, how did they swoop him up?
I wish I knew, but JR seems pretty connected to him. He was excited to have him on the team. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, I'm going to get to see these guys the week of the regional tipping off and get to go to their practices and share everyone's stories, what everyone's up to now. Because, I mean, some of these guys are still affiliated with basketball, but not playing, like J.R. Giddens, who is a head coach now at the college basketball level. So I think Lobo fans are going to enjoy the coverage of all the TV stations and radio stations and all the media. And I think there's going to be a lot of hype and build up to that, especially that first game. I mean, Lobos versus Aggies in the first round. It doesn't get any better than that in the state of New Mexico.
Yeah, absolutely. The Panamania, I mean, this is their first tournament. They weren't part of it last time, correct?
No, not last year. They weren't a part of it last year. And I don't know if they've had a team in years past, because this has only been around for less than 10 years. So, this is an exciting entrance for them into this regional, especially with it being in Albuquerque, especially with the Aggies playing the Lobos in the first round. It just made all the sense in the world for those two to be paired up together. They're the 4 and 5 seed. So potentially whoever moves on could potentially see the 1 seed, who's a team who's made up of a lot of players that were on the runner-up squad from the basketball tournament last year. And for those that aren't familiar with this tournament, it's a winner-take-all $1 million purse for the team that wins. Winner-take-all. If you get second, you get nothing. If you get first, you get it all. And I've watched this from afar on ESPN and their family of networks for years, and this is going to be my first experience watching games in person. And it's so cool that it's in Albuquerque. We don't even have to go anywhere to go watch it.
Yeah, I love the tournament. I love the competitive nature of it, because there's no like, okay, if you get 8th place, you get $32,000. If you get 3rd place, you get X. It's $1 million, winner take all. So everyone's going to bring their A game and play as hard as possible.
Right.
And there are some straight ballers on this team. Like, just because they're not in the NBA anymore, just because they're not playing in Europe or Asia anymore, doesn't mean there's not amazing talent to pluck from to form these teams to play in the tournament. Like, we got Los Angeles street balling team, the LA Cheaters, Team Challenge ALS, coached by Darren Collison.
Yeah, former UCLA Bruin. Yeah, and
Right.
an NBA veteran.
They got NBA players on that team.
There's basically NBA players, NBA vets, or guys that have at least been to like a summer league and had a cup of coffee in the NBA. Every team's got NBA guys, so there's NBA level talent across the board, including in the New Mexico regional. And something worth noting for the basketball tournament, this particular event, every game ends in a very obscure way. For anyone that's never seen it, it's not just like you have a clock that goes the third and fourth quarter. At a certain point, they go halves, I believe. In the second half, at a certain point, they take whatever the score is, and then they give a number. Okay, first team to this number will win the game. I want to say it's like a 10-point difference from whoever's up. And you get a lot of cases like New Mexico's team last year was up double digits going into that phase.
Right.
And the other team rallied back. And there's a lot of cases where you see the team that is down. It doesn't matter if they're down by 4 or if they're down by 20. A lot of teams end up rallying back over the years because of them. It's all about momentum in this game. Whoever has the momentum going in to that last phase of the game usually comes back and wins it. So that's a whole nother exciting factor. It's going to be interesting to see what that is like live, to feel the angst and the tension of the crowd, and just to see these two New Mexico teams, your UNM and New Mexico State alumni, facing off on national TV right here in Albuquerque.
I don't care what their actual seedings are in the group. You play them no matter what, whether they're 4-5 or 3-6 or 1-8.
You can't take any team lightly.
You
at all
have to match these two teams together. That's such a brilliant pairing. Also in the group, we got Colorado State's team, Ram Up, Boise State's team, Once a Bronco. And then this one I find hilarious, a TBT team based in Houston that just bought their way in. Like, they didn't win a tournament to get in. They're just like, yeah, we're going to buy into this thing and win it. So watch out for the 8 seed.
Competitive choice.
Competitive choice is what they're called. Yeah, the 8 seed. So who knows how good they are?
And that's the thing. Who knows how good any of these teams are? You have teams with some pedigree, like the Heartfire team is made up of a lot of players that were on Team 23 who last year got runner-up in the entire tournament. There is 8 regions, I want to say.
I believe you're correct. 8
regions with 8 teams. There's a whole bunch of teams. So it's all going to come down to the final team getting that $1 million prize. And New Mexico and New Mexico State have a chance to make it to the second round because they're going to face each other. So one of them is going to go to the second round.
Right. Yeah, this is exciting stuff, man. I can't wait till it happens. And it's here right at the pit. So get ready. We're going to have a blast.
July 18th.
July 18th.
There's 4 games, and Lobos and Aggies will play in the final game of that night, which is scheduled to be at 8 p.m. But with it being the last game, it could easily go start later than that. So that'll be a fun night. It's a Monday night, I want to say.
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah, so that'll be a fun Monday night on the desk for me, keeping track of that game, going to the pit, watching some, then going back to KOB's studios and breaking down some highlights of whatever's going on.
So is that like an NIT type tournament? If they keep winning in Albuquerque, then they move on and go somewhere else to play?
Exactly. So the winner of the Albuquerque regional will face, I want to say, the winner of the Syracuse regional in Dayton, Ohio.
Okay. So
right.
How many teams in general?
Well, I think it's 8 by 8. 8 times 8, so 64.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's just it's almost as much as the NCAA tournament. The NCAA tournament for years was 64, and now it's been 68 for quite some time.
It's a neat little tournament.
It's grown over. I mean, it was only like 32, I want to say, if not less, their first year, less than 10 years ago, and here it is, 64 teams, in a huge field.
Mikey, your New Mexico State Aggies and the Panamaniacs are fielding a full team of New Mexico State alumni in front of your favorite player, Wendell McKines, Jamar Young,
McInnes,
Johnny McCants.
Yeah, Las Cruces native right there.
Did a lot of talent down there. That's going to be good when they go at it.
Justin Hawkins, who played with them not that long ago.
Oh, that's right.
Braxton Huggins, I believe, is on the roster. He was just an Aggie just a few years ago.
Yep. Wow. Can't wait to them and the Enchantment team or the Lobo.
We all got to go down and watch it. It's going to be a blast.
Oh, man, that'll be great.
From the texture, why in the expletive did they match up the 2 New Mexico schools in the first round? They killed the gate. They should have had them on opposite sides of the bracket.
Well, see, and that's being a bit presumptuous that they could both go far. If you made them 1-8 and wanted them to face each other in the regional final, this is a really stacked field.
Sure.
This is a tough field. So I think fans should be very thankful that we even get to see this matchup, because there's no guarantee either of them could go on to the next round. It's a very tough field. Every game is going to be close. So, yeah, would it have been nice to see them play in the $1 million game and not even be in the same regions and see them play in the championship of the basketball tournament? Sure. But it's a geographically set region.
Right.
All the they try to make the travel limited.
Right.
And there's 2 teams from New Mexico in this regional. You got teams from Colorado, Idaho, California, making their way all the way to New Mexico. So it's a regional thing. So to have them in the same region is great enough. I think it made all the sense in the world to make them go against each other, to go start with a bang in round 1, to try to get a huge crowd for the very, very first night.
Got another great question for the texter that I'm going to propose to you during the break. But when we come back from the break, I think Katie Ledecky is the most dominant athlete in all of sports, and I'll tell you why when you get back. More 2 Men on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This message is brought to you by Blake's Lottaburger. Introducing Blake's newest flavor of iced coffee, caramel, made with double brewed premium.
Clear, can you hear me?
Very best taste. Caramel iced coffee joins Blake's original 3 flavors, classic, vanilla, and mocha. Perfect paired with a spicy breakfast burrito, available all day at all Blake's locations.
We are starting to see some slowdowns westbound on Paseo. Those are going to start around 2nd Street and are going to last until the river. Also northbound I-25, a little bit of congestion between Gibson and MLK, so watch out for that. But I-40 looks good in both directions. North of town between Albuquerque and Santa Fe, I-25 moving up to speed there.
Hey, New Mexico, Meloy Los Lunas wants to buy your gas guzzler. During the Meloy Los Lunas Summer Save-a-thon, we want you to sell us that gas hog. Meloy, Ford, Chevrolet, and Jeep all have customers that need vehicles just like yours. Visit MeloyLosLunas.com.
This report is brought to you by Meloy Los Lunas.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, the largest selection of in-stock furniture in the state, locally owned and operated. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
The Jim Rome Show.
Phil Mickelson does some really dumb stuff. He knew that press conference was coming. That was the one that he had been ducking for months while he was in hiding. I mean, taking time away from the game to work on himself. I'm not exactly sure what kind of work he did on himself, but he certainly did not spend much time coming up with a good answer for why he's taking hundreds of millions of dollars from those, quote, scary mother bleepers, end quote.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Are you ready to make home homier? Get it done with home equity. Kirtland Federal Credit Union can help with a home equity loan or line of credit. Learn more at kirtlandfcu.org/home equity. Kirtland Federal Credit Union. You belong. An equal housing lender. Membership eligibility required.
We now have more ways to fight COVID than ever with oral treatments for individuals at high risk for severe COVID who test positive.
And they can be taken from the comfort of home.
These treatments, if taken within 5 days of the first sign of symptoms, are effective at reducing the risk of hospitalization and severe outcomes.
This is a game changer for New Mexico.
For more information and to access treatment, visit findatreatmentnm.com.
The smoke is back at Church's. Our $6 smokehouse chicken meal is a juicy half chicken served with mashed potatoes and a honey butter biscuit. All that for just $6, but not for long. Church's, welcome to the great state of flavor. Offer valid at participating locations.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Dashboard light problems? We can help. Our free Fix Finder service can read your check engine light, ABS light, and service indicator light, and give you possible solutions, verified by licensed technicians. You'll even get detailed results sent straight to your email so you have them when you need it most. It's the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes. The free Fix Finder service, only at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
More details at AutoZone.com.
It's so sticky.
At Hannah's Organic Honey, business may be sweet, but they need an e-commerce queen bee to lead the hive.
Okay, these jars are going to Jakarta. Oh, wait a minute. Does that say Jackson?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by interviewing on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
When some people peek under the hood, their first thought is, what's all this? You may as well be asking them to translate hieroglyphics in the Valley of Kings. If, on the other hand, you know automotive inside and out, from starter to tailpipe, good news. We're not looking for translators, but we need great mechanics like you.
If you have 5 years experience working service phase, Leonard Tire and Automotive Repair is hiring. Simply email your resume with contact info to leonardtire@aol.com. Leonard Tire and Automotive Repair has the career you are looking for.
Hey Dad, cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Hey, I'm Ariana. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Spicy Southwest salad is when I take a bite, it's like, wow, I'm getting a punch from the roasted corn. I'm getting a kick from the spicy chicken. It's just great.
Hi, this is Tori. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Cobb salad is the avocado lime. It adds to the chicken, the bacon, and the roasted corn. It takes the salad to a whole nother level.
Order a salad for delivery on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
The Duke City's home for sports. 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
And you're up.
Welcome back, Duke City. Listen to 2 Men on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
Whose song is this?
This is The Roots featuring the Cody Chestnut.
Sounds like Questlove, too.
Yeah.
That
Oh, you
Questlove
know.
snare.
That Questlove bounce and
The
snare.
song is called The Seed.
The Seed.
They're amazing. I love the Roots.
Oh, my God. You seen them live?
Nope.
Oh, my God. They're so good.
Man, they're on the list.
Any hip-hop with a full band is night and day better than an MC and a DJ.
Mhm.
It's just night and day better.
Mhm.
For live,
Mhm.
you're just listening to it. It don't matter.
Every hip-hop, except for Big Boy, every hip-hop artist I've seen live had a band. Eminem.
Oh,
had
really?
one, and it was, the band was so good. So good.
It's hard to play
Man.
bass when your palms are so sweaty.
Get me all pumped up, man. We playing good music, Mike.
That is a good group, though, The Roots.
Speaking of Roots, John Lopez Real Estate and Coldwell Banker Legacy will help you grow roots here in Albuquerque. If you need any real estate, whether it's buying a home, selling a home, learning about the market, or getting into the business, John Lopez Real Estate, Coldwell Banker Legacy is your place to go. Reach out to them. They are on every social media platform, the internet. Just Google John Lopez Real Estate. Ask your homing pigeon. It'll bring you right to it. It'll bring you a newspaper article. That he's everywhere. Can't miss it. He is the dude. All right. Katie Ledecky, bro. It's time to talk the best athlete on the planet.
Can we give a quick shout out to Freddie Trujillo?
Oh, right on. Yeah.
For filling me in. I'm new to town still, 4 years working here.
Sure.
He let us know that Scott Bamforth, I'm sure a lot of people know, but you and I were educated about him. Del Norte High School graduate, now going to play with the Enchantment team, the Lobo alumni. It's about to play at the basketball tournament. So folks are very excited to see another local player, not only a former Lobo, but an Albuquerque native, a Del Norte High School graduate, play with this basketball team the Lobos have coming up. July 18th at the Pit is the first day of the New Mexico Regional of the basketball tournament, $1 million winner-take-all tournament. So want to make sure we give a good shout-out to Freddie.
Yeah, thanks a lot, friend of the show, Freddie. He just softballed a story in there for you, right? Like that's
that's what's great. Like every player on the team has a story. So we're gonna try to tell as many of them as we can before July 18th to keep reminding everyone about the tournament coming up. It's gonna be very exciting.
Okay, back to the task at hand. I think Katie Ledecky is better than your favorite athlete. She is more dominant. She is more heralded. She is more medaled than just about any athlete on the planet right now. This is the way I gauge a dominant athlete. And I'm going to use the example of Michael Jordan. And I say this all the time. When we talk Michael Jordan versus LeBron James, my meter isn't their talent on the court, which I think they're interchangeable. My meter is Michael Jordan was insanely better than the second best basketball player on the planet at that time. LeBron James is not an insane amount better than Kevin Durant or Giannis.
You're saying right now, at least.
Sure. Katie Ledecky is better than the second best swimmer by laps.
Still at this time.
4 years later, she's been dominating. She's been dominating the sport for years. Undefeated at the Olympics. She just won the world championship. Let me tell you this right here. She won the 400 or the 800? I get them mixed up right now. 1500. The 1500 meter. She won it by 14 seconds.
So long. In swimming and in track, like seconds are the distance of seconds, right? Are huge. And 14 seconds?
Think about it.
That's like half a lap?
1001, 1002.
It's like a lap almost.
14 seconds.
Sorry. What do they call it when they go back and forth?
Yeah,
that's a lap.
It's a lap.
Half of that is what?
14 seconds. And let me tell you how dominant she's been. She won by 14 seconds. It was 8 seconds off her best.
Man.
Think about that.
She now has 21 career world swimming championships.
22 seconds.
By herself.
She's 22 seconds better than the second best swimmer on the planet.
She has 21 career world swimming championship medals.
Yeah.
Individually.
So you take those 14 seconds that she won by.
That's the most now for any swimmer, for women's swimmer.
Undefeated at the Olympics.
Michael Phelps has 33. Ryan Lochte has 27. I think those are the only two swimmers, period, that have more than her.
Correct.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
To be talked about with the two best swimmers in the history of the sport, Michael Phelps and Ryan Lochte, and then Katie Ledecky.
Right. Yeah.
And how dominant Katie Ledecky is more dominant than Michael Phelps was, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Michael Phelps was winning all of these races, but not at the dominance that Katie Ledecky was.
Yeah, not by as much.
See, it's my Jordan versus LeBron argument.
Yeah, that makes
That's
so much
why
sense.
I think Katie is the best athlete alive right now.
Now, why
compared to her peers? How much better she is than her peers?
Michael Phelps was all over a million commercials in his prime. There was a lot of marketing about him.
Yeah.
Have we seen nearly as much marketing about Katie Ledecky? I don't think so. Not even close, right?
See, this your question right there, and this is the kind of investigative journalist you are, KOB TVs Brandon Ortega. I was going to segue this conversation into the name, image, likeness conversation is helping young female athletes at a rate that is more than men.
Right. Well,
and to answer your previous question,
right.
Michael Phelps, he was a face. He was a man. Men get more attention. Men are more heralded. Men are, better athletes. They're more dominant athletes. You can't have a woman just step into a men's sport and dominate like a man. You understand. But within the women's sport, no one's dominated like Kate Ledecky has before. And I don't think she gets any credit at all for being the best athlete or one of the best athletes of this current generation.
Right. And you think about, I'm so glad you brought up NIL, name, image, likeness, which is now a thing in collegiate athletics where student athletes can make money off of their name, image, and likeness, whether it be through local businesses or national endorsement deals and what have you. That's maybe a small piece of the pie that Katie Ledecky could have been earning
right
when she was in high school and college age, because
Sure.
she was already winning I think by the time she was a senior in high school or something, like she was really young when she bursted onto the scene. So she could have been raking in the bucks and also getting amazing exposure that is now allowed. And yeah, just the financial gain and then the recognition that she deserved from an early age and still does now. Man, it's crazy to think what is ahead now for the younger generation coming up, these next best athletes in the world from the United States and from around the world, because there's always been different rules in the United States than every other country.
Yeah.
Because, like, you think about, like, I'm shifting over to another sport now, guys like Messi in soccer.
Right.
He basically went pro when he was, like, 14 or something?
Sure.
Maybe I'm probably getting the exact age wrong.
Actually, he was 12.
He was 12 when he went pro, but like by the time he was like 14 or 15, he was already like playing a bunch.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's right.
the whole infrastructure of professional sports and amateurism is so different in across the world. And hopefully NIL is helping us take a step closer for things to just make more sense for student athletes in high school and in college, because it's been decades and decades and decades that athletes have gotten in trouble for receiving money, even though they deserved it at young ages. It just wasn't allowed back then. And I'm excited to see, I don't know if we're ever going to see a Katie Ledecky in swimming or in any other sport this dominant, but not enough people know about her, and a lot more people should. And we also should mention her mom swam at UNM back in the day. I learned that yesterday from the great Rick Wright of the Albuquerque Journal.
All right.
So how about that Albuquerque connection to the great Katie Ledecky?
Let me put into perspective. I love Albuquerque roots. Give me all that you got. And that's not why I brought it up either, because her mom swam at UNM. I promise it's not. Of the top fastest times of all time for female swimming, Katie Ledecky owns the top 13. You got to go to
That's insane.
You got to go to 14th place to get someone else.
That's a grueling and demanding sport on top of it.
That's like she's in Usain Bolt levels of dominance. To put it in a perspective, of the 50 fastest times ever ran, 15 of them are Usain Bolt. The other 35 were caught doping.
Wow.
That's how dominant Usain Bolt is. And Katie Ledecky is just as dominant, if not more dominant.
Wow.
Right. So, long story short, she's one of the best athletes of all time.
Put some respect on that girl's name, is what I'm saying.
Long story long.
When we get back, women and name, image, likeness. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The smoke is back at Church's. Our $6 smokehouse chicken meal is a juicy half chicken served with mashed potatoes and a honey butter biscuit. All that for just $6, but not for long. Church's, welcome to the great state of flavor. Offer valid at participating locations.
This report is sponsored by Church's.
Traffic right now, all in all, things looking good here in the metro. A couple of slow spots, though. We are seeing some slowdowns northbound on I-25. Those are going to start around Gibson and last until Central. Also, westbound Paseo moving a bit slow between 2nd Street and the river.
So in life throws you uh-ohs. Just say, better get Mako.
And visit the paint and auto body experts at Mako today.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. Shop in store or online at AmericanHome.com. They guarantee you'll pay less. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
This is Jim Rome with the CBS Sports Minute. Quick shout out to the Colorado Avalanche fans. Maybe planning that victory parade after just 2 games was a little bit premature. The Lightning did what they do. They bounced back in Game 3, emphatically, because they knew. They knew it was not over. It's cliche, but never question the heart and character of a champion. I'm Jim Rome.
The
opening drive with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Global football coach Danny Gonzalez.
Obviously, there's something more than just what Coach Saban said the other night. As a college football coach and more as a fan, what's next going to happen? So I kind of enjoyed it. All the NIL conversations you did on Friday are great. I mean, nobody knows, so keep asking questions. You might find ideas that we don't even think about.
Local talk, weekday mornings from 7 till 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
For quite some time, I've been telling you about NuMale and how thousands of men have benefited from their industry-leading testosterone replacement, how these men have felt better and stronger, taking care of fatigue, depression, even erectile dysfunction. It's Jeff Symbieta. And did you know now NuMale also specializes in hair restoration? Truth, hair restoration without side effects. Here's the number, 505-652-1688, or you can go to NuMale, NuMale.com. NuMale gives you options, platelet-rich plasma hair therapy that uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells deep in your hair follicle to stop hair loss and regrow hair. They have an FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser that's proven to regrow hair, and a NeoGraft hair transplant producing natural-looking results in less than a week with no linear scarring. The treatments work for both men and women who want a natural, thicker head of hair without side effects. NuMale is in Albuquerque. Give them a call at 505-652-1688 or visit them online at NuMale.com.
Hey, Dad? Cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Dashboard light problems? We can help. Our free Fix Finder service can read your check engine light, ABS light, and service indicator light, and give you possible solutions, verified by licensed technicians. You'll even get detailed results sent straight to your email so you have them when you need it most. It's the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes. The free Fix Finder service, only at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
More details at AutoZone.com.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $30 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need, 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
Don't miss the opening drive with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10 on 95.9 and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Welcome back to the program, Duke City. It's a Fredless Wednesday. Fred's out on assignment. Fred will be back Friday. So all those hardcore Fred fans, you and your secret Facebook groups can rejoice. Fred is back on Friday. Lucky for me, I got back-to-back New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Star TV and Radio, KOB TV's very own Brandon Ortega, sitting across from me. Welcome back to the program, my dude. We were talking Katie Ledecky and dominance last segment. Now we're going to talk about something I find that's really important is name, image, likeness. And, you know, we talked about this subject ad nauseum on this program. We're very passionate about name, image, likeness. We think, my opinion, and I can't speak for Fred when he's not here, but I do believe it is our opinion, so I will speak for him when he's not here, that college athletes are exploited. They're exploited, and they're used by the universities to make more money for the university. I don't think that's a very controversial topic.
It's a sliding scale. Obviously, there's a big gray area in any hot button topic like this, but athletes are being exploited. But now with name, image, likeness, you can make deals for yourself, get your own worth. There's already companies and agencies that are representing these college athletes to make sure that they're getting the top dollar they can for their name, image, and likeness. But I want to talk about name, image, likeness as it connects to women's sports, women's college athletics. And I think name, image, likeness in women's sports will open the door in a way that Title IX did. And as we know, Title IX forced universities to put more emphasis on women's college athletics and had them divert funds from other programs to ensure that women had the same opportunity as men.
So that's been around for 50 years now.
50 years now, correct.
Which is crazy, yeah.
But name, image, likeness for women's sports, I think it's going to bring more attention in a more natural, organic way than Title IX did, by bringing more attention to specific athletes on each team.
Yeah, and they can also bank off of what we now are living in the social media world, where so many student athletes have their TikTok accounts and their YouTube accounts and all these other social media pages where there are infrastructures to an extent that they can make money off of. And I mean, it was only a few years ago where athletes in the NCAA were suspended, even expelled from schools from having YouTube accounts and receiving money because it wasn't allowed. Making money off of your likeness was not allowed. Now it is, thankfully, finally. So overdue by decades. So yeah, you're right, man. I mean, there's several avenues people can go through, whether it be a local business endorsing them or, I mean, the social media world has so many avenues just on its own, just that one. And it's something student athletes can do from literally their living room at home, making funny videos and influential videos. And yeah, there's a lot of genres to it. So it's just getting started. We're not even a year into it, and we're not even close to scratching the surface.
And I'm going to tell you why this is going to highlight women's athletics in a counterintuitive way that you might not have thought of just now. Friend of the show, loyal listener. I don't care how old you are, whether you're 10 or 12 years old listening to this program, or you're 110 or 112 years old. Your whole life, hot chicks have sold you stuff. Whether you're from the Instagram age or like me in the 80s, who women in bikinis tried to sell me soda pop when I was a kid.
For as long as newspapers, magazines, televisions have existed,
you're right.
Beautiful women have been selling us stuff.
Beautiful women move the meter in advertising dollars, sponsorships, promotions, everything. So if you are a good athlete and you are a good-looking woman, congratulations, you're going to absolutely kill it in the name, image, likeness game.
Yeah. You could be one or the other, if not both.
Yeah. And then like you said, you genius, you, Brandon Ortega, in social media, if you have the looks and the smarts and the athletic prowess,
I mean,
your social media game is strong.
I mean, so much of it is smarts, though.
Correct.
In social media, and then there's a element of luck too.
Oh, of course.
Because you can go viral off something you had no clue could go viral.
Exactly that.
So there's a lot of dynamics.
So if your social media game is strong and you are good looking and you are a successful athlete, you will have more and more followers, you have more and more fans, and you're going to get paid more and more by these companies by name, image, likeness. And in turn, it's going to highlight whatever program you play for, whether it's basketball or swimming or lacrosse or softball or whatever. You're going to have more fans. You're going to have more butts in the seats. Your program's going to make more money, all because of this.
Have you heard of Twitch?
Yeah, I got one every once in a while. It's sort of like,
this is another avenue that I find fascinating. Yeah. People get paid to play video games. Like, people tune in to watch people play video games and they get paid.
Yeah.
People crazy. And Twitch is not just for that. Like, you can tune in and watch someone play the guitar, or you can tune in and watch someone just talk. Yeah, Yeah, that's an avenue student athletes are using. There's a lot of gamers.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
In the student athlete realm.
You beat me to it. Yeah. Hot gamer chick. Welcome to the name, image, likeness world. Esports. You're going to kill it too. You're going to kill it.
Last time I came on the show, the esports state championship had just happened for high schools in New Mexico. And man, we can go off the rails talking about that. But man, there's a whole bunch of universes out there.
And there's coaches that are very insecure. College basketball coach K, he got out because he said he couldn't deal with how college basketball is going with the NIL, and also Nick Saban. That's kind of interesting.
Well, yeah, cry me a river.
There, yeah.
It's just evening the playing field.
To be fair,
they've
been doing it a long time.
Sure,
and
now everybody gets to do
it. Everyone has an end.
Yeah,
and it was time for him to go because he was done with the long run he had. And but for every Coach K there is that is retiring now, there are so many young coaches that get it, that understand the world we live in. And I'm excited for those coaches to guide student athletes to handle these things the right way, to have savings accounts for all the money they're earning at such young ages. So
30.
There's a lot of good stuff going on.
1 hour in the books. Thanks for KOB TV's Brandon Ortega joining me today. More Brandon in the 5 o'clock hour. We're going to hit the NBA draft when we get back. 505-246-0610. We want to hear your hot takes on the draft, whether it's a call or a text. Hit us up. Your voice is welcome here on Two Men On. More sports adjacent content when we get back. You're listening to 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
JPR Construction Supply not only sells rebar, but now fabricates rebar too. JPR also carries concrete vibrators and stamps, power trowels and plate tampers for sale or rent, and they deliver. JPR in Rio Rancho and Albuquerque. Contact them at jprnm.com. This report is sponsored by JPR Incorporated. All in all, things looking good here in the metro. A couple of slow spots, though. Southbound on I-25, starting around Paseo and going into Osuna, we're seeing some slowdowns and backups in that area. Also, northbound I-25, Gibson to Central, moving a bit slow as well. I-40 looks good in both directions. So do your river crossings.
Beat the New Mexico heat this summer with regular maintenance of your HVAC system. Call Anderson Air Corps, the HVAC geeks, and put our 60 years of expertise to work at your home or business. Visit AndersonAirCorps.com to learn more.
This report brought to you by Anderson Air Corps Heating and Cooling.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, the largest selection of in-stock furniture in the state. Locally owned and operated. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. It happened. The moment that everybody knew was coming became official yesterday. Rob Gronkowski is retiring. That's cool. As I said 3 years ago, I'm never going to tell a guy when to retire or when not to retire. But if you've seen the punishment that Gronk has taken over the years, this is the right move. He is walking away while he can still walk, as long as he is walking away. And I'm not sure that's the case. His agent, Drew Rosenhaus, and even Drew says that, quote, it would not surprise me if Tom Brady calls him during the season to come back and Rob answers the call. I love Gronk, but is he the next Brett Favre? Are the Bucs going to have to get Tommy and some of the fellas to gas up a private jet to fly to Gronk, interrupt his Dilla hunt, and convince him to come out of retirement at some point? Listen, this guy's incredible. He completely changed the game. But either play or don't play, and don't play us.
Hey, Dad? Cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Hey, I'm Ariana. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Spicy Southwest Salad is when I take a bite, it's like, wow, I'm getting a punch from the roasted corn. I'm getting a kick from the spicy chicken. It's just great.
Hi, this is Tori. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Cobb salad is the avocado lime dressing. It adds to the chicken, the bacon, and the roasted corn. It takes the salad to a whole nother level.
Order a salad for delivery on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Hey, Dad. Cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. I want to speak to the dads who are being denied access to their kids, excluded from key parenting decisions, are contending with child support issues. In all of these cases, doing nothing is probably not a good strategy. The law has given you rights, but you have to assert them. If the challenge is the cost of an attorney, Cordell & Cordell offers a capped fee option. Give us a call.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Albuquerque area attorneys. 6565 America's Parkway Northeast, Suite 900, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87110.
KG40BL Albuquerque is 95.9 FM, AM 610 KNML Albuquerque. The sports animal, proud to be a Cumulus media station, even if they're not that proud of us.
Now batting for the sports animal, your afternoon drive. Number 2, men on, Van Nunley and Fred Slow. And in the on-deck circle, Robert Buck D. Gibson.
This is Two Men On with Van Nunley and Fred Slow.
You got to tell me who this is.
I'm going to let that bleed. We only start the top of the hour with Run the Jewels. So this, my friend, is Run the Jewels. And sometimes Nelly. Sometimes we start the hour off with Nelly when Vitale wants to make me mad. But we don't play Nelly when Fred's not here.
Fred's not here. Did I do that good?
Yeah, you nailed it. Well done.
Been wanting to do it the whole time.
If it's quitting time, congratulations, friend of the show. You made it through hump day.
Oh, I've never been on at 5. Have I been on your show at 5 o'clock? Is this cool? You get this is literally the driving home time.
Yeah.
This is cool.
People are driving home planning on how and when they're going to watch Brandon Ortega on KOB TV.
Still got time. Gonna be on at 6 o'clock tonight.
Like, oh my gosh, do I need to order a pizza? Do I get some Arby's on the way home?
That's a good point. I eat late at night. I'm a late night eater, always have been. And I'm always sitting down and I'm eating when Brandon's on the air.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
And I don't get acid indigestion at all.
Usually eating these brownies that I just ate.
Do you like them?
Dude, it's gone. I demolished it.
I've got another one. My girlfriend makes them. So.
Oh my gosh, bless her heart.
She grew up in a bakery in New Jersey, and she can bake.
Oh my, sure can.
If you're just joining us, friend of the show, that voice you're hearing is one of KOB TV's very own Brandon Ortega, special guest host today. Just a wealth of talent and experience and community service that we in Albuquerque, we just probably don't deserve. Like, we're just so lucky to have you, buddy. Thanks for coming to our city and making it home.
Hey, Brandon, before you guys jump into it, were you surprised at what the Warriors did this postseason?
No, not at all. I mean, yeah, they got off to a great start, 18-2 to start the year, but I've never forgotten how good Klay Thompson is. I've never forgotten how good Steph Curry is. I feel like people forgot the last 2 years because neither of them were all that healthy the last 2 years. I mean, Klay Thompson missed over 2 seasons,
right,
because of a torn ACL and then a torn Achilles. I wasn't all that surprised. It was really cool to see Andrew Wiggins step up. Didn't necessarily expect it from him because we hadn't seen him on that stage before. He was always on the Timberwolves, and they are not good. So you never got to see him all that much in the playoffs. So
Curry, one of the best ever.
Oh man, he is the best shooter ever. Easily. Best shooter ever.
So we could pause the NBA draft a little bit because I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. On Monday, Robert and I got posed a really good question. Is Steph Curry even with or overtaking LeBron James.
Okay, overtaking him how?
So here's how I broke it down.
Steph Curry should have started in Space Jam. I'll tell you that much.
That's an excellent point. The way I broke it down is not player. Because if you think Steph Curry's a better player than LeBron James, you obviously have a LeBron James bias because he's not in any way, shape, or form.
He's a better shooter than LeBron.
Yeah, sure. Better shooter.
That is it.
Yeah. That's the only part of his game that's better. But here's a distinction that I think is interesting. Steph Curry's NBA legacy has it caught up and or surpassed LeBron James. Because I'm of the opinion that they are now neck and neck in NBA legacy.
Interesting. You pose it that way.
Yeah.
It's very interesting because they've had two completely different paths.
Sure.
Curry's been on one team the whole time.
Right.
And after his first few years, and they got Bob Myers as their general manager and have their current ownership group and had Mark Jackson as their head coach, they were really taking big steps towards being a championship contender. And then Steve Kerr comes in, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, make this three-headed monster with Curry, this great core, and then they build around them so well. They've been building around those three brilliantly, all four of those championships.
Correct.
Two of them, for a lot of people, are diluted because Kevin Durant was there.
Right.
But they were still a great roster.
Right.
Besides those four.
See, that's my point.
A lot of complementary players that took their roles very well.
And this last time, the fourth for the Warriors, they did it through the draft. They acquired Andrew Wiggins, and they did the rest through the draft. Their role players, their bench players,
Jordan Poole,
were drafted while Klay Thompson was out, while Steph was hurt, while they were the worst team in the league, while they were non-competitive. Organization did a great job with that.
Well, Jordan Poole's the draft pick that really developed. They still haven't developed Kuminga.
Coming. Yeah.
And James Wiseman.
Yeah, they're coming, though.
Yeah.
They're still role players. They still did a good job on the team. So you talk about the Kevin Durant years. I would cancel those out with LeBron's Miami years because LeBron formed a super team that should have won every year. The Warriors formed a super team that should have won every year. So to me, LeBron and Steph both have 2 championships on their own, 2 championships on a super team, couple MVPs. LeBron has more. So I think LeBron and Steph's NBA legacy is neck and neck. And now whoever wins more throughout the rest of their career is going to be considered not the best player, but the greater player.
And the greater legacy is what you're saying.
Sure.
That's really, it's interesting the way you phrase it that way, because if you're looking at moving forward, who has a greater chance to keep adding to it, it's Steph Curry by a mile.
Sure.
By miles.
Yeah.
Because LeBron James still has Anthony Davis, who we'll see if he can stay healthy the rest of his career. But besides Anthony Davis, they don't have any structure figured out. Russell Westbrook could be traded any minute now. Steph Curry, on the other hand, has Klay Thompson, who's not going anywhere.
Right.
Draymond Green, who's not going anywhere. Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole. The list goes on.
Yeah.
The roster is really solid right now, and they've got young players in the wings, like you mentioned, with Wiseman and Kuminga. Yeah, Curry's got much brighter outlook moving forward to add I don't think just one, multiple championships.
I agree completely. I think as long as that core stays healthy and they keep developing the young players, they're going to be the favorite out of the West every year, especially, and this is a underrated element of this, their guys aren't just raking in the bucks. They can spend more money, and they are in IT tech heaven. You know how much you got to pay for season tickets to the Warriors? You know how playoff tickets cost for the Warriors? There's so much money in that community and so much love for that team that they can spend their whole salary cap. They can spend over their salary cap every year and keep acquiring little pieces.
Right. And a lot of people don't realize, if you're not from California or the Bay Area, they went from Oakland to San Francisco in recent years.
Correct.
And like you said, the demographic you're moving to and building a new arena out there in San Francisco, it's a whole different ball game being there now as opposed to when they were in Oakland and they were in an old arena with a with a pretty diehard fan base, but that fan base just didn't have a great team to root for a long time until Curry and the gang rolled up, and it just went on this run that they've been on, and 4 championships in 8 years. I don't know if that qualifies as a dynasty.
I think it is,
because I compare it to the Spurs, who won 5 in how many years?
A decade?
It was like
longer, way
13,
longer,
14, 15.
Yeah,
I don't know if I would qualify that as a dynasty either, but I would say that's still an amazing run that a franchise had with the same core of players, because this is the same core we still have in this 8 years with Curry, Thompson, and Draymond. As long as those 3 are there, it's the same core that are going on this run. So it's as close to a dynasty as we've had in the NBA since Shaq and Kobe.
Sure.
Because they won 3 in a row. Who's won 3 in a row since then?
No one. So I don't think you have to win a bunch in a row to be a dynasty. 4 out of 8, that's a championship every other year. That's a dynasty to me.
Right.
Like the Spurs being competitive for 15 years, being in the playoffs every year. They won a championship every 3 years. That's a dynasty. I don't have to be unbeatable for 5 years to be a dynasty. I think being highly competitive for X amount of time makes you a dynasty.
You know what? That's a good point. I guess it would qualify for a dynasty now that I think about it. It's just a different level of dynasty.
I'm sorry, I was being rational and reasonable for a second. That's bad radio.
How dare you?
Golden State sucks. They got lucky. The Boston Celtics, they were playing with 2 broken ankles. There you go. There's your hot take. So yeah, okay. So as far as the legacy argument goes, Steph's in a position to have a better legacy over a career, a basketball career, because he's
okay. Now, as far as winning championships is what we're saying, though.
Yeah,
right?
Championships, impact on the game, everything. Because the is Steph better than LeBron argument? No, shut up, shelve it. Don't even bring that up.
It's not even close.
You don't have a leg to stand on at all.
This is but the way you're phrasing this,
yes,
I love this debate.
Legacy?
I love the thought of
like
this.
Greatest. Like you could say greatest. Like if I'm drafting quarterbacks, I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers over Tom Brady. If I want a career, if I want a legacy, you choose Tom Brady, and there's no second place because Tom Brady's first, second, and third place. I think if Steph racks up a few more championships, he's going to be the Tom Brady of basketball.
Yeah, and he'll have one of the best legacies of all time.
Correct.
In the NBA.
I think you're very right on that. When we get back, we're going to do some NBA draft talk.
We will get to it.
I'll tell you why it's not as important as you think it is, but it's quite important. More sports and sports adjacent talk on 2 Men On. You're listening to 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Construction on I-40 between 98th and Coors Boulevard is ongoing. Eastbound traffic is reduced to 2 lanes. I-40 on-ramp closures at Unser will impact drivers. NMDOT District 3 is overseeing the project. Mountain States Constructors is performing the work. Visit nmroads.com.
This report brought to you by Mountain State Constructors.
All right, traffic right now, southbound on I-25 as you approach San Mateo. Looks like there's a jackknife truck there. May have lost some of its load. It is causing quite a bit of backups. It's affecting multiple lanes. At the moment, there's only 1 lane open. If you can, just avoid that area altogether. If not, be patient. Take your time getting through there. We are seeing a lot of slowdowns there. Also, some minor slowdowns northbound on I-25. That's going to be further down, though. That's going to be between Gibson and Central. Also, southbound on Coors at Montano. That's moving a bit slow as well. If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. Shop in store or online at AmericanHome.com. They guarantee you'll pay less. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
Telling it like it is.
Phil Jackson has 11 titles. He won Coach of the Year once. LeBron has not won an MVP in 9 years. Stop giving out the award. It means nothing if LeBron hasn't won an MVP in 9. Steph Curry's MVP doesn't validate anything to smart sports fans.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays at 1 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 8888 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 8888. Enjoy.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. We see it every day. People hurt in car wrecks being misled by the insurance companies in order to minimize the amount of money they have to pay. When the insurance company tells you you don't need an attorney, that's when you know you need an attorney. Want a fair settlement? Don't attempt to deal with the insurance company on your own. Call Lerner & Rowe Injury Attorneys today at 544-4444. We'll fight hard to get you all the money you deserve and keep you out of the courtroom.
Lerner & Rowe can get you more. Call 544-4444.
Insurance Research Council, July 2014.
So sticky.
At Hannah's Organic Honey, business may be sweet, but they need an e-commerce queen bee to lead the hive.
Okay, these jars are going to Jakarta. Oh, wait a minute. Does that say Jackson?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by interviewing on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, Dad. Cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Are you amped?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Come on, bro. The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at 10
On 95.9 FM
and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Welcome back, Duke City. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. Talk a little NBA draft this segment with friend in real life, OG friend of the show, Star TV and Radio, KOB TV's very own Brandon Ortega, guest hosting today. Honor to have him.
Fred's not here.
And of course, behind the glass, super producer Mike Vitale, who has a passion for the NBA draft that's just unmatched by basically anyone on earth that I've ever heard of. And I'm making all this up on the spot.
Was my Fred's not here better the second time?
You're killing it, by the way.
I think I'm 2 for 2.
They're getting progressively better. The NBA draft is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's not a LeBron James in the draft, it doesn't matter.
I know.
It doesn't matter at all. Every year there's going to be that guy.
We might have the next KD, though. I don't know. I'm excited about this one.
Which player would that be?
Chet Holmgren.
You think Chet Holmgren?
He's got the build of a KD. He's got the skill set of a KD. But will he pan out? That's the multi-million-dollar question.
And that's
NBA
what
execs have.
And that's what people don't get about the NBA draft. Like, the NFL draft is the most practical draft.
Okay.
You're going to get contributors no matter what in the first couple rounds. It doesn't matter if they're not all pro. It doesn't matter if they're not pro bowlers.
Even if it's like a special teams player.
Yeah, these guys are going to contribute to your team no matter what if you draft them early. NBA, Major League Baseball, it's a crapshoot.
Yeah, there's no guarantee one of any of your picks is going to be
at
out.
all. There is a historical litany of evidence of bust after bust after bust. You don't know what it's going to translate into when they have to play with men. You're still playing with boys when you're in college. It doesn't matter how dominant you are.
And Yeah, and now in the one and done era that we're still living in, a lot of these draft picks are boys.
Yes.
None of them are old enough, have been playing college basketball long enough to be considered young men. They're still boys. They're young, they're inexperienced, they're immature. So that's such a big factor with all these one and dones in particular. Can they handle everything that comes with the transition to the NBA?
Okay, we have of the top 5 projected picks: Jabari Smith, Auburn; Chet Holmgren, Gonzaga; Paolo Banchero, Duke; Jaden Ivey.
Nice, by the way.
Yeah, the top 3. I think the top 3 are all going to be good NBA players. Jaden Ivey, Purdue; Keegan Murray, Iowa. Maybe the next group you can add Benedict Mathurin or a couple other guys, but I think that's easily the top 5 right there.
My personal favorite.
The oldest one is 19.
That's not.
They're all 18 or 19 years old. That's insane.
But that's the way it's been for a long time. It's been that way a long time.
You have no idea who these people are going to be. There's only one LeBron James. There's only one Kevin Durant a generation. Like the number people celebrate, like have parties, sports fans, for the number 1 pick. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. You don't know what these guys are going to be. Like there's only, how many? Think about it. Number 1 picks.
Okay.
How long you been a sports fan? Since you could remember, right?
Yeah. 8, 9 years old.
What is that? What is that for you? What's the oldest number 1 pick you could remember?
Okay. Well, like that I remember watching a draft, right?
Correct.
I'll go like maybe Tim Duncan.
Okay. That's a good one.
That's a pretty good one.
I'm going to start right before that, and I'm going to go Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay.
So I remember Larry Johnson, Grandma Ma from UNLV. Next year was Shaquille O'Neal. And I had this in my head that oh my God, every first round pick for the history of the world is going to be amazing. Larry Johnson was an above average basketball player. We all know who Shaquille O'Neal is. A few years ago, before I was really a sports fan, I was too young to realize, but David Robinson, right? David Robinson's that guy. We go back a little further.
The Admiral.
Patrick Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon, Ralph Sampson, James Worthy, Skip 2, Magic Johnson. That was a good run of number 1 picks who were just game changers. So let's start with your guy, Tim Duncan. We'll scratch out Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay.
Since Tim Duncan, how many world champions do you think have been drafted number 1?
Okay, well, I'm looking here. I mean, LeBron James, since Tim Duncan, you've got LeBron James. I mean, Dwight Howard counts because he won a title with the Lakers in 2020, but up to then he wasn't. And then nope. Kyrie Irving won one with the Cavs. Anthony Davis won one with the Lakers. Andrew Wiggins just won one with the Lakers, but not with the team that drafted him.
Yeah, sloppy seconds with the Warriors there.
Technically sloppy thirds, because he was drafted by the Cavs,
right? And
then immediately traded to the Timberwolves, and now with the Warriors. Karl Anthony Towns, no. Ben Simmons, heck no. Markelle Fultz, no. DeAndre Ayton got to the finals last year, so he could be knocking on the door if the Suns keep that core. And then the other 3 are still in their rookie contracts, trying to get their franchises out of the gutter with Zion Williamson, Anthony Edwards, and Cade Cunningham. Now, Timberwolves and Pelicans are now playoff teams, so they've at least gone up a notch, even though Zion's been hurt. But as far as number 1 picks eventually becoming world champs, it's not a guarantee whatsoever.
I count 7 in the last 30 years.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, that's less than a third.
Less than a third. So,
and some of them weren't with that team.
Yeah.
Probably 2 or 3 of those 7.
Yeah. Wiggins
ended up winning titles with the other team. Dwight Howard,
Wiggins,
Andrew Wiggins
different team.
Yes.
Anthony Davis,
Other
different team.
Yep.
Kyrie Irving.
Did win one with the Cavs.
Yeah, one with the Cavs. So Kyrie and LeBron left and came back. Tim Duncan, we know about his career. Great dude, great champion. Poor Allen Iverson, right? Poor Allen Iverson.
Got to the finals once?
Yep. Shaquille O'Neal, legend. Then we got to go David Robinson. Okay.
I bet that percentage that you went through, I bet it's
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Since the beginning of the draft, I bet it's less than 30%. It's probably less than 20% of the number one picks ended up winning a championship, whether it was with the team that drafted them or a team they were traded to or signed with.
If we go all the way in the 70s, we got Magic Johnson, Bill Walton, and Kareem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 3 in the 70s.
And Bill Walton won it with another team, or did he win one with that team? Was it the Portland that drafted him? Who drafted
Portland?
him?
Yeah, he got one with Portland and
then the Celtics.
Yeah.
Throw it down.
Yeah, it's not what you think it is.
Van Nunley. Throw it down.
It's not. It's not what you think it is. Number 1 overall pick, high lottery pick. Again, like I say it before, I'll say it again. There's only so many LeBron Jameses. There's only so many Kevin Durants, who wasn't even a number 1 pick. Number 2, he should have been a number 1 pick, but that's just a bad organization for you. Let me show you something else.
Okay.
You got this number 1 overall selections pulled up, or the draft pulled up?
I do.
You're going to see a theme of teams popping up over and over again.
Same teams.
The same 5 to 10 teams are going to be the first pick, because good organizations don't get the first pick because they're competitive and well ran over and over and over again.
Right. Now, this is a great point, because the last team, the most recent team to win a championship that had a number 1 pick on this first little litter of number 1 picks I'm looking at Tim Duncan with the Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
The Warriors had the number 1 pick in 1995
mm-hmm.
and hadn't had the number 1 pick. Now, they could have had the number 1 pick for the next 10 years because they weren't very good.
Right.
They just weren't winning the lottery. But that's a really good point, though. Very few teams have been able to capitalize on that first pick and then never be in that lottery conversation again.
So let's takes us to this year's draft class. Again, these are 18 and 19-year-olds. Who knows?
All the top draft prospects that are on everyone's mock draft boards.
You think Jabari Smith is LeBron James? You think Chet Holmgren is LeBron James? Paolo Banchero? These guys might be really good NBA players. These guys might make an all-NBA team. They might be all-stars. But going into it that these aren't Magic Johnsons. These aren't LeBron James. These aren't Kevin Durant's. You see it right here, right now.
In my opinion, Chet Holmgren's the only one that has this it factor, this like aura about him that I feel like has superstar potential. Jabari Smith, Paolo Banchero, I feel like could be solid number 2 or 3s. I feel like they easily could be those two. But to say someone has that it factor, it takes a lot for me to say it. I really do feel that way about Holmgren. He's just a unicorn, freak of nature. He's got that sort of ceiling for me.
And there's another reason the media loves him and writes all these glowing articles about him. He's white.
Says the white guy.
It says the white guy. Of course he's going to get positive press and positive media. He's the only white guy. He's only white first-round draft pick.
7-foot white guy, mind you. So there's that. But I wanted to also say my personal favorite, I think this guy's got massive potential if he lands in the right situation, is Ben Mathurin from Arizona. He had a great NCAA tournament. He had a great season just out of his sophomore season going pro. Love his game. But, man, everything's about fit. They got to go on the right team in the right situation.
Let me stop you right there, and let's talk about that more when we get back. More NBA talk when we get back. I will shelve Rob Gronkowski talk because you made a really good point, and I want to talk more about that. More NBA talk when we get back. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Hey, New Mexico, Meloy Los Lunas wants to buy your gas guzzler. During the Meloy Los Lunas Summer Save-a-thon, we want you to sell us that gas hog. Meloy, Ford, Chevrolet, and Jeep all have customers that need vehicles just like yours. Visit MeloyLosLunas.com.
This report is brought to you by Meloy Los Lunas.
The traffic right now, southbound on I-25, it's a bit of a mess as you approach San Mateo. We've got an accident there Multiple lanes being affected. As a matter of fact, at the moment, only one lane open. Your best bet's going to be, if you can, just avoid that area altogether. If not, be patient and take your time getting through there. Also seeing some minor slowdowns right now northbound on I-25. That's going to be between Gibson and Central. At the moment, I-40 looks good in both directions.
Welcome to Total Wine and More.
I'm on cooler duty this weekend.
Fill it up with seltzers and canned cocktails.
Oh, wow, great prices.
Love what you find at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, the largest selection of in-stock furniture in the state. Locally owned and operated. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
Look at the under when the Cardinals face the Brewers. I'm Joe Giglio here to help you beat the books with BetQL. St. Louis and Milwaukee are neck and neck in the NL Central and continue their 4-game series tonight with Adam Wainwright and Eric Lauer on the mound. The BetQL model likes the under. BetQL has Cardinals Brewers under 8.5 as a 4-star best bet. I'm Joe Giglio. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetQL app today.
Hey, Dad? Cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Hey, I'm Ariana. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Spicy Southwest Salad is when I take a bite, it's like, wow, I'm getting a punch from the roasted corn. I'm getting a kick from the spicy chicken. It's just great.
Hi, this is Tori. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Cobb salad is the avocado lime dressing. It adds to the chicken, the bacon, and the roasted corn. It takes the salad to a whole nother level.
Order a salad for delivery on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
We now have more ways to fight COVID than ever with oral treatments for individuals at high risk for severe COVID who test positive.
And they can be taken from the comfort of home.
These treatments, if taken within 5 days of the first sign of symptoms, are effective at reducing the risk of hospitalization and severe outcomes.
This is a game changer for New Mexico.
For more information and to access treatment, visit findatreatmentnm.com.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. If the insurance companies treated you fair after you've been in an accident, we wouldn't be in business. They have teams of adjusters, investigators, and attorneys that are all working against you and want to pay you as little as possible for your injuries. When we call, the insurance companies listen. We'll fight hard to get you all the money you deserve and to keep you out of the courtroom. Don't settle for less. Call Lerner & Rowe Injury Attorneys today at 544-4444. The call and the advice are free.
Lerner & Rowe can get you more. Call 544-4444.
Insurance Research Council, July 2014.
Hey, it's Scott Stigler for Indigo Mortgage. The all-time low interest rates aren't available anymore, which means mortgage companies aren't seeing as much business. So many are chasing profits. Where do they get these profits? From people like you. How do they attract you? With offers of crazy low rates or deals that seem too good to be true. Ben Lucero at Indigo Mortgage says that's because they are too good to be true. For years, Ben has had two simple words if you need a home loan. Shop around. The huge internet lenders will reel you in with what looks like a great deal. The fine print and extra fees will end up costing you sometimes thousands of dollars. If you have an offer from one of them, that's okay. Just compare it with an offer from Indigo Mortgage. Just recently, Indigo Mortgage has saved several customers from making a huge mistake. Call 836-5700 or go to indigomortgage.net. Internet lenders are notorious for dishonest deals. Nobody cares more about your mortgage loan than Indigo Mortgage. 836-5700, NMLS 188348.
Homes all over Albuquerque, especially in Four Hills, Tanouin, and the Northeast Heights, were built with air ducts in the slab. Chances are those ducts are damaged and you don't even know it. If you're buying, selling, or just want a system that keeps you cool, call Ductworks, New Mexico's only nationally certified duct restoration company. They'll do a video scope plus clean, coat, and restore those ducts, saving thousands of dollars. Call veteran-owned Ductworks at 600-9374 or schedule online at ductworksnm.com. That's works with an X.
The Duke City's home for sports.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
That's a yes.
This is 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Welcome back, Albuquerque. You're listening to Two Men on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Shout out to our friends New Mexico Pinon Coffee. We start our mornings with New Mexico Pinon Coffee. I cannot start my day without New Mexico Pinon Coffee. It is so delicious and nutritious. I just can't quit it. We love everything that they do in the community. Anything that helps Albuquerque, they are ready to jump on it and take ownership. And we are so proud to be working with them. Check out New Mexico Pinon Coffee if you are not a junkie already, as I am. From the text line, we were talking about Katie Ledecky, and I was singing Katie Ledecky's praises that she might be the best athlete alive right now, especially when you compare her to her peers. Then from the texter, who will remain number and nameless, tell me Katie Ledecky is better than my girl, Leah Thompson. And you make a really good case for Leah Thompson. Actress from such 80s greats, Back to the Future, Red Dawn, Howard the Duck, of course, the subsequent Back to the Futures, Dennis the Menace, The Little Rascals, Stealing Christmas. Oh my gosh. What a prolific and epic career for Leah Thompson. Of course, the texter was not talking about that Leah Thompson, but of course, the transgendered swimmer, Leah Thompson. But we don't do that here on this program. Brandon, you made a really good point right before the break that it matters who drafts you. It matters the role, and it matters the organization. For example, I think case in point, the most recent and best case you can make is Andrew Wiggins. Kansas, 5-star blue chip, can't miss prospect, overall number one, no competition on the number one draft pick, goes to the LeBron-less Cleveland Cavaliers.
Who then trade him right away. Yeah.
Traded him right away.
For Kevin Love.
Correct. For Kevin Love. Goes to Minnesota, and we know that organization, how that's ran. If you don't know how they're ran, they've been the number one overall pick twice since then. Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards, who might be a budgeting superstar. Cavs, Andrew Wiggins, fail. Minnesota, Andrew Wiggins, fail. Warriors, Andrew Wiggins, NBA championship.
So the big difference between how the Timberwolves fit with him and the Warriors fit with him, the Timberwolves wanted him to be their number one.
Right.
They were at least one or two, 1A, 1B with Karl Anthony Towns. And it didn't work out. He goes to the Warriors, and at times they wanted him to be their number three when Klay Thompson was still recovering. And then when Klay Thompson came back, they wanted him to either be 3 or 4, sometimes 2, if Draymond Green and Klay Thompson are sitting on the bench and he's playing with Steph Curry. He's never been a number one his entire career. He's been on bad teams where he's been able to pad stats and have great games and been an all-star, been in consideration for the all-star game and whatnot. But yeah, that's a perfect case. Is this a good player? Easily a good player. Is he a great player? Franchise caliber player? No.
And I don't see that from any athlete in this NBA draft. I don't see anybody. I know you got a big raging heart boner for Chet Holmgren, and I could see him being a really good NBA player, but I don't see anybody in this draft that's a game changer. That's like, put him on the court, we're going to the playoffs. These guys look like, from the top of the draft to the bottom of the draft, these look like pieces. Some are made stronger, some are more sure things, but they all look like pieces of a team, not all stars.
And to me, it's kind of harder to pick who's going to be the top three. You got Jabari Smith, you got Holmgren, and you got the other guys there. I think it's
yeah.
harder to pick this one more than it has been in the past.
And that's because we're only seeing these guys for one,
Right. Good point.
maybe 2 years max. And in the past, we would see, I mean, gosh, we've been in the one and done era for quite some time now, going on 15, almost 20 years. In years past, before all this started, you got to see players for 3 or 4 years, and you get a better idea, and they mature a lot more heading into the draft. It is such a crapshoot now with these one and done players because we only get to see them for a year or two tops. And sometimes we have these one and done guys that get hurt and are still projected to be high draft picks. We only get to see them for like half a year. So yeah, it is getting harder and harder on NBA executives to get it right because you just don't get to see these guys a whole lot. I mean, we're looking at the number 1 pick list from years past, and Cunningham, I think, is the only one that wasn't there for 1 year. Anthony Edwards was one and done. Zion Williamson, DeAndre Ayton, Markelle Fultz was a one and done. Ben Simmons, Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, it's hard to go further and further down this list and not see a one and done. I think Blake Griffin might have been the only one. No, I think he was one and done too. It's hard to remember that far back. We're getting old. Anyway, it's harder and harder to get that number 1 pick right because so many of them are one and dones.
And I think the best player in the draft, like going into the future, might be some guy from overseas or some guy from the G League Ignite, the Ignite League. Somebody that we don't know of, somebody from late first, second round, instead of these air quotes sure things at the top of the first round. You don't know. It's not like you got a 4-year guy who dominated college for 4 years. You got a good body of evidence. You saw him progress. You saw them get better. It's just like,
it's just so rare.
Here's a 18-year-old kid who played other 18-year-old kids for a year.
Right.
Good luck.
Yeah. And in this top 10 of so many of these mock drafts we're seeing of all these one and done guys, only a few went far in the NCAA tournament. That's where like the microscope really, sharpens for these one and done players. Chet Holmgren, I think made the second round. They got knocked out. Did they make Sweet 16? They got knocked out early. Jabari Smith, same thing. Didn't get to the Final Four. Banchero did with Duke. Ivy with Purdue did not go far. Arizona's Mathurin went to the Sweet 16, I think. Yeah, so and then again, you only have 1-2 season stops to scout these guys, and they're just so young, and everyone wants to see greatness right away.
Sure.
Did that happen with all the great players we have now? Steph Curry, that didn't happen overnight. LeBron James basically did overnight.
He's the last one.
But he's really last one. Giannis,
mailman.
Overnight. It took some time. Who are the other great players? KD was on really bad teams early on, but you saw potential of greatness very early on.
Yeah, you knew KD early.
You knew he was the rookie of the year right away. His rookie year with the Sonics.
Vitale, mailman, want to talk NBA?
Mailman, awesome.
Mailman, let's grab you. Let's go to the break right now. Hang with us. We'll grab you after the break. Mailman's thoughts on the NBA draft when we get back. More 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Dell Technologies and Windows 11 provide innovators with the tools to succeed. To do more with the Latitude laptop, Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for Business. For advice and expertise, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
Traffic right now. We've still got slowdowns on southbound 825 as you approach San Mateo. That's from that crash there. They have opened up more lanes, though, so traffic is moving a lot better. Also, slowdowns right now westbound on Paseo. Those are going to start around Jefferson and last until the river. And headed west on I-40 this afternoon, 4th Street to Coors. We're seeing some intermittent slowdowns in that area also. If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. Shop in store or online at AmericanHome.com. They guarantee you'll pay less. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
This is Maggie Gray with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by Dell. For your small business needs, call a Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. O'Neal Cruz is a shortstop for the Pirates who was called up to the majors on Monday and has already made multiple highlight reel plays. The problem? Cruz should have been with the team from the beginning of the season. Service time manipulation is a bad faith practice and further evidence that some owners just don't care about winning. I'm Maggie Gray.
The Jim Rome Show.
If I didn't know any better, I would say that Tony La Russa was trying to get himself fired. The Dodgers up 7-5. They've got a runner on first with 2 outs. Trey Turner at the plate. Freddie Freeman advances to second on a wild pitch. And La Russa orders the intentional walk with a 1-2 count on Trey Turner. Even his own broadcasters had no idea what he was thinking or doing. There is no question. It was a terrible decision.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Research shows listeners don't like it when ads interrupt their music. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance, we made this ad optional. If you want to skip this ad, remove your left earphone. Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
If you're missing this informative ad, you must love wasting your cash.
It's the easy and smart way to save.
Now it's all been said, so if that earphone was out, put it back in your head.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey, Dad? Cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
If you buy too much, you waste money. If you come up short, you waste time. And if you don't have the right metal, you waste time and money. You got to spend wisely. MetalSupermarkets.com is your online source for metal with the deepest metal inventory. Just enter your dimensions and we'll cut the metal to your exact spec and deliver it to your home, business, or job site. MetalSupermarkets.com. Any metal cut to size and ready fast is just a few clicks away. MetalSupermarkets.com.
You know when you see a great deal on the phone and then you find out it's not for you? Not at Verizon.
They just gave us all a new iPhone 13.
So we both got the same great deal.
Yep.
Get iPhone 13 on us with select trade-in and 5G unlimited plans for every customer, current, new, everyone, to show the love. Only from Verizon. $799.99, 128 gigabytes only, device payment purchase with new or upgrade smartphone line required. Less up to $800 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. 0% APR. Trade-in conditions apply.
So you think drinking alcohol can't hurt you? It'll mess you up big time. Say adios to large chunks of your brain. Major damage is already being done. Other parts of your body are getting wrecked too. Forget about sports, forget about school, forget about doing much of anything. Underage drinking freaks out your body, messes up your life.
Sponsored by the NMDOT.
New Mexico's Sports Authority, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Welcome back, Burke. Listen to 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. Your home for sports-adjacent content and Albuquerque's premier sports influencers. You want to say it again?
Fred's not here.
Because I know we got the mailman on deck, and he about to say the same thing. What's happening, mailman?
Fred's not here.
What's happening, my guy?
All,
what's on your mind?
I feel honored to speak to the great Brandon Ortega.
As one should.
Dude, right back at you, dude. Right back at you, buddy.
Dude, if you could see me, I'm on my knees right now, bowing down. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. Dan and Fred don't get that. Fred don't get that.
You're my favorite caller in all of Albuquerque. I need you to
Dude,
know that.
I just want to say congratulations. But I was thinking today when I was listening to sports, out here on the road. They said that the Oklahoma City Thunder has 4 picks.
Okay.
Yeah, they have
And
two
then
in the
they were
top, two in
trying
the
to
top
say
12.
that
Yeah.
Oklahoma City should go and get Chet Holmgren. Dude.
Is that your guy?
I think Chet Holmgren is way too skinny.
He is. He's
I'm
very
not
skinny.
sure if he's going to be able to take that kind of pounding. And I'm thinking it's going to take him 3 to 5 years. They're going to have to put him on a weight program. He may even wind up spending some time in the D League to get some weight on him and to bulk him up to take the pounding. And I think Banchero is the way that OKC should go. Get somebody who you know is going to be a force right away. Banchero, they said they got 4 picks. So if they need a center type player, then you go and let Holmgren be your second or third pick if you can afford it. But you have got to get somebody that's going to be worth it. And I think that they won't have seen a player like Banchero since Sean Kemp. And I think he could be an organizational game changer at 250. I mean, he's got a man body already at age 19. Well, that's what I'm just saying. That I think that would be the better way to go.
Mailman, I know what I look like when I was 19, and if you stretched out my 5'11" body to 7 foot tall, I would also look a lot like Chet Holmgren. So all these guys got to grow. These are all children.
Well, except for he's saying, but Banchero's the one that's got like the NBA body right now.
Yeah,
that's
sure,
what he's
sure,
saying.
sure,
yeah,
sure.
and I agree with you, man. He's an NBA ready player. It's why he's going pro ready. It's why he's going to be a lottery pick. But yeah, I mean, you look at the top 3 teams. So we got the Magic are number 1, right? And what's their need? So many teams are going for what they need. And I think the consistent thing when you talk about the Rockets, Thunder, and Magic, they need at least wing or post presence or just they need a big that can impact the game in whatever way, whether they're a stretch big or a big down low. So I guess the good news is if you're a Rockets, Thunder, or Magic fan, you're gonna get a player like that, whether it's Smith, Holmgren, or Banchero. But no, I got nothing but love for everything you're saying about Banchero, Mailman. I just happen to think Holmgren's the guy that's got the biggest it factor because I think Banchero's got some it factor in him. I just think Holmgren's got the bigger.
I think also, let me run this by you real quick, and then I'll get off because I know you got to get to work. What about they were also saying, because it came down late yesterday, Kyrie and Simmons to L.A. for Anthony Davis and Westbrook.
And picks
Do
and
you
money.
think it's possible?
I don't think so. I don't think they're letting Anthony Davis go just like that, especially not for the 2 biggest head cases in the NBA. So wait, did you say
Davis? He don't show up in shape. I guarantee you, LeBron and him gonna be brawling in the back. It may not come out, but I guarantee you, him and LeBron will be brawling in the back if you come in out of shape again.
I wouldn't.
Look how long it's been since you played.
I wouldn't mind that. Dude, I wouldn't mind that because Kobe and Shaq were brawling, and they won championships while they were doing it. So,
well, yeah,
I think that could work.
Kobe's main thing was he was pissed off that Shaq used to come in. It would take Shaq about 2-3 weeks to get in game shape.
Yep.
He wouldn't come in early. He wouldn't come in late. He would come in, just do whatever. And Kobe like, look, dude, this is 3 weeks that I'm killing myself. That if you came in, we would either do better or at least be way ahead of the game if you just came in shape. That's why they was brawling, and I think that's what LeBron needs to do. Now, Davis and LeBron's management team supposedly work together.
Yeah.
So why ain't LeBron like, look, dude, you got to get this dude in the gym.
Clutch Sports.
You better be in shape. I'm not killing myself like I did last year. I'm whooping his behind if he come in all whacked
It doesn't matter if Anthony Davis is in shape at all anyways. And thanks for the call, Mailman. Really appreciate you.
Love
Thanks
you, Mailman.
Thanks for being an OG friend of the show. It doesn't matter if Anthony Davis comes in shape or not, because that roster as it is right now with LeBron and
Russell Westbrook, man.
Hasn't
been traded yet.
Because it's, what is it really? 85% of Russell Westbrook? What is it? 85, 90% of Anthony Davis? And then what? 95% of LeBron James? None of these guys are who they are. LeBron is still LeBron, but Anthony Davis isn't the player he used to be.
I mean,
Russell Westbrook isn't the player he used to be, and they don't have the support group.
Yeah, Anthony Davis was declining because he was never healthy, and then he was just out because his injuries were so severe. So I haven't lost faith in Anthony Davis as a superstar, because when healthy, he's a beast. So that's a big factor. But what was the he was talking about the trade.
So he said
in my book,
Kyrie and Simmons,
right,
for Davis and Westbrook,
right.
But the Lakers would have to ship picks with it and money with it.
Yeah, and I don't see Anthony Davis being traded for anything less than a tier 1 superstar who has no locker room issues.
Right.
And Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons don't fall into that category for me. Irving's a superstar talent on the court, but he's a locker room issue. So I don't think that trade would go down. I'd be the most surprised person in the world if it did. So
Kyrie recently, and we were going to do a whole segment on this, but let's just tackle this in our last 2 minutes here. Kyrie has come out and said that he was immature when he played with LeBron, and he didn't understand his role, and he was apologetic that he was immature, and it would be different if they ever got to play together again. With that being said, I don't think it's enough, that apology is enough for the Lakers to go after them, because you can give they're not going to trade Davis.
He said that before last season, though.
Right. They're not going to trade.
And then look what happened this past season.
They're not going to trade Davis. They would have to punt Westbrook, all of their picks, and money to make that happen.
Yeah, it's a complicated situation the Lakers are in right now to get rid of Westbrook.
Only thing the Lakers can do is hope the Nets don't re-sign Kyrie and can get him on a team-friendly deal.
But that's the thing.
And do some salary cap magic.
Apparently, it's less complicated if Kyrie does opt in, and then it's a sign and trade sort of thing. So Who knows? I don't see it happening. I don't see him with the Lakers.
Brandon Ortega, thank you so much, my dude.
Oh man, that's right. I gotta go.
2 hours flew right by, didn't they?
Report from the pit coming up on KOB, talking about the Enchantment and Panamaniacs.
Okay, let's give the friends of the show a preview and then run out of here when we get back. One more hour of 2 Men On. You're listening to 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The Albuquerque Journal and Venue Plus for local insight and answers about pets or puzzles, sports or shopping, comics or movies, events, dining, music, television, and more. Get all your entertainment and recreational questions answered. Subscribe at abqjournal.com.
Well, traffic getting back up to speed after those separate crashes in both directions of I-25 in the area of San Mateo. Are seeing a little bit of a slowdown still westbound Paseo. That's going to be between 4th Street and Coors, and on westbound I-40, Rio Grande Coors, we're seeing a little bit of a slowdown in that area as well.
Hey, New Mexico, Meloy Los Lunas wants to buy your gas guzzler. During the Meloy Los Lunas Summer Save-a-thon, we want you to sell us that gas hog. Meloy, Ford, Chevrolet, and Jeep all have customers that need vehicles just like yours. Visit MeloyLosLunas.com.
This report is brought to you by Meloy Los Lunas.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, the largest selection of in-stock furniture in the state. Locally owned and operated. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
For quite some time, I've been telling you about NuMale and how thousands of men have benefited from their industry-leading testosterone replacement, how these men have felt better and stronger, taking care of fatigue, depression, even erectile dysfunction. It's Jeff Symbieta, and did you know now NuMale also specializes in hair restoration? Truth. Hair restoration without side effects. Here's the number, 505-652-1688, or you can go to NuMale, NuMale.com. NuMale gives you options. Platelet-rich plasma hair therapy that uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells deep in your hair follicle to stop hair loss and regrow hair. They have an FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser that's proven to regrow hair, and a NeoGraft hair transplant producing natural-looking results in less than a week with no linear scarring. The treatments work for both men and women who want a natural, thicker head of hair without side effects. NewMale is in Albuquerque. Give them a call at 505-652-1688 or visit them online at newmail.com.
Here at Total Wine & More, you'll love what you find, especially our totally low prices.
That rosé you recommended was a hit. What should we try for more fun in the sun this weekend?
This silver tequila makes a refreshing tequila sunrise.
Perfect. Wow, that price is refreshing too.
Love what you find, only at Total Wine & More. With the lowest prices in New Mexico. Drink responsibly, B21.
Whether you're working in an office or remote, Staples has your tech.
New AirPods so I can turn up the music and tune out distractions.
Staples has your tech.
A Wi-Fi extender for faster downloads?
A portable keyboard so I can work from anywhere.
Staples has you covered with tech solutions and accessories, from the latest laptops to networking solutions. And now Apple AirPods Pro are just $199. You save $50. The latest tech solutions are at Staples, the working and learning store. N625 limit 2 while supplies last.
Dell Technologies and Windows 11 provide innovators with the tools to succeed. To do more with the Latitude laptop, Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for Business. For advice and expertise, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
K240BL Albuquerque is 95.9 FM, AM 610 KNML Albuquerque. The sports animal, proud to be a Cumulus media station, even if they're not that proud of us. Now betting for the sports animal, your afternoon drive. Number 2, men on, Van Nunley and Fred Slow. And in the on-deck circle, Robert Buck D. Gibson. This is 2 Men On with Van Nunley and Slow.
Two hours in the books, Duke City, 1 to go. Was honored to have friend in real life, OG friend of the show, KOB TV's very own Brandon Ortega with us for the first 2 hours. That flew by, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did.
You didn't even notice. You didn't even notice we're up against our second hour. You have to go right now. You have to go 5 minutes ago. So preview what you got coming up on your show this week and where people can contact you.
Yeah, so tonight we'll be reporting at the pit, talking the Enchantment, the Lobo alumni basketball team that will be the host of the New Mexico Regional of the basketball tournament, the $1 million winner-take-all tournament coming up this summer. That starts July 18th. They're going to be playing New Mexico State in the first round. The alumni of the Aggies, the Panamaniacs is their team name. So that's going to be awesome. Talking about that, we'll talk New Mexico United. They have a match on Saturday. Alex Bregman homered for your Astros. So you could catch that on KOB tonight. And got a lot of more fun stuff coming up this week on KOB.
Well, really appreciated the time, Brandon. Thank you so much. As always, we will talk to you soon. You're the most talented dude in the biz. Thanks for coming on. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
See you, Brandon.
Thanks, Mike. Love you, dude.
So I want to talk a little more about this potential Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Russell Westbrook, Ben Simmons drama. If I was a reasonable general manager and understood what it's like to deal with these personalities, there's no way I would allow this to happen. I don't want Kyrie on my team. I don't want Ben Simmons on my team. And coming into this, I probably wouldn't even want Anthony Davis on my team. Not because he's crazy, because he's a prima donna. He's got control issues. He's
injured,
forced his way out of New Orleans. I mean, Davis and Zion together, you get a couple pieces around that. That's a good team. He still didn't want that. So he has problems of his own. But as far as talent goes, of course I want Kyrie. Of course I want Ben Simmons. Kyrie running point. LeBron James at a forward hybrid position. Ben Simmons at a shooting guard, forward, hybrid position. You have a couple you got a down low defender, you got a wing defender. That's a playoff team right there, just by acquiring those two people. That's on the court talent. But they are both insane people. Kyrie Irving, and I will beat this into the ground, believes the earth is flat. And look, I love conspiracy theories as much as the next guy. They're somewhat of a hobby of mine. But I don't believe them. I don't go altering my perception of reality because of some insane story I found on Facebook or Reddit or 4chan or one of my weirder friends in real life. For you to think that the earth is flat, despite other human beings going to space and taking pictures, that makes you a legit crazy person. Again, I will say I love conspiracy theories. They are fun. They are interesting. The best ones always have a tad bit of truth in them. There's a big difference in between a conspiracy and a conspiracy theory. It's not what I'm saying. But you don't want Kyrie Irving on your basketball team. He is an insane person. He is a distraction. He thinks there's nanobots and vaccines that won't let you get boners. He's an insane person. He thinks vaccines were exactly designed to keep down the black people of America. And I get it. Haven't been treated great historically. Tuskegee experiment. Long list of atrocities. I get your apprehension to being in a position of authority. I get your apprehension against science. It has not gone your way historically. But to believe that the earth is flat, despite people going to space and taking pictures, despite every other body in the solar system, in the universe being round, every other planet, every star, any celestial body is round. Every single one. You still believe the earth is flat? I don't want that guy on my team. I don't care how good he is at basketball. Miss me with that. I don't want him in my locker room. I don't care how good he is at basketball. Loyal listener, you know how seriously we take mental health on this show. Talk about it all the time. Have experts on. Anything in the news that's mental health related or mental health adjacent, we talk about, we highlight. We think it's very important. When Ben Simmons started having mental health issues, we were a hero for Ben Simmons. We were an advocate for Ben Simmons. We supported him. But when reports came out that he was using it as leverage for a trade, we lambasted him as he deserved it. And I don't know the real true story, what's going on in Ben Simmons' head, but obviously there's a sliding scale. Obviously there's a gray area. And the truth lies somewhere in the middle, maybe closer to one end or the other. But he's not as mentally ill as he portrays. I'm not saying he's not mentally ill. I'm not saying he's using this to gain favor. But he is mentally ill enough to distract from the product on the court. He's mentally ill enough to be a cancer in the locker room. And you want him to have the space to take care of himself, but you don't want that on your basketball team if you have a choice. So all the trade speculation about Kyrie and Ben Simmons for Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook, why would any team take that on? Why would any team in their right mind take that on? It's a liability. It's a liability to your product. Why do you want a guy like Kyrie who's just not going to show up and play one day? He's just like, I'm going to take 2 weeks off for my sister's birthday. Or I have to go to a march or something, which is commendable, good for him. That's the one game that he missed that I agree with. Believes the earth is flat. Believes there's robots inside vaccines that won't let him get boners anymore, which is the plot to the Chris Rock classic Pootie Tang. If you're not familiar with Pootie Tang, written by Chris Rock and Louis C.K., it's Pootie Tang. Also, kind of the plot of the spoof, blaxploitation sploof, Black Dynamite. It's funny. It's funny. It's hilarious. You don't want these guys in your locker room. So no, Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons will not be traded for Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis. No matter how much money, no matter how many draft picks you throw in, it's not going to happen because no one in their right mind will take on both. I'm not saying some team won't take on Kyrie Irving. Some team won't take a chance on Ben Simmons. But the Nets are already all in. The Nets are already all the way invested in this threesome. They thought it was going to be KD, Irving, and Harden. On paper, those are some stone cold killers. That threesome will get you deep into the playoffs every year if they're healthy. Harden didn't work out because Kevin Durant wouldn't take a stand against Kyrie and his vaccine. Why would you want that headache? Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Ben Simmons. If they're on the court, they're good enough to get into the playoffs. All right? But there's just as good of players that aren't insane people, that aren't a liability to your team, to the product on the court, to your locker room, to your fandom. They're driving people away, and there's no way a GM in his right mind will take on both. There are, I would say, 20, maybe up to 25 GMs that will take on one of them. I'll take a chance on half of that nightmare. And honestly, if my team was in the dumps, if my team was in the doldrums, if I knew there was no other way to be competitive than taking on one of those two insane people, I might be able to be convinced by a restless owner that we need to pick one of these guys up. But you never know. I don't know if you out there, loyal listeners, friend of the show, I don't know if you guys read the papers. I don't know if you guys go on Facebook. I don't know if you check out the news. But there's a lot of stupid people in the world. And you're going to hear a lot more from the stupid people because they now have a microphone. The dumb people have a megaphone now. So if you're online, no matter what online platform you're on, whether it's a comment section from the Albuquerque Journal, or if you're on Facebook and you're commenting on some flat earth conspiracy on the fans of Kyrie Irving's page, the dumbest people are often the loudest. And unfortunately, that translates all the way to the top of the pyramid for NBA general manager. Somebody will take a chance on these crazy people. I already miss Rob Gronkowski. More of that when we get back. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report brought to you by the City of Albuquerque.
ACS provides the right response at the right time, answering 911 and 311 calls on mental health, addiction, and homelessness. ACS is Albuquerque Community Safety, and we're here to help.
Well, traffic right now, taking a look at things here in the metro. Things looking actually really good. I-25 and I-40 are back, both moving up to speed here in town. River Crossing's looking good as well. North of the city, I-25 between Albuquerque and Santa Fe looks good in both directions. And south of the city between Albuquerque and Los Lunas, no problems in either direction there. Your first stop on your summer trip should be airport parking. You'll pay about half of what it costs at the Sunport Garage. Shuttles run every 5 minutes, 24/7, and drop you off at the terminal door. Take I-25 exit 221, then take the first right to airport parking. Easier, quicker, smarter. This report brought to you by Airport Parking. If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. Shop in store or online at AmericanHome.com. They guarantee you'll pay less. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
The Opening Drive with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
I'm going to tell you, think outside the box. The way it's always been about the majors, the tradition, the Masters, U.S. Open, the Open Championship, the PGA. But if LIV decides to create their own majors with major payouts, what is more important? Making insane amounts of money or a chance to go win a green jacket or a claret jug? Most of those guys will find it more important to make money.
On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Sire, how does fetching your lunch help my career as a stonemason?
Well, how else are you going to learn?
By stonemasoning, maybe?
Good one.
Throughout history, people have always been undervalued at work. Search salary by major at monster.com or download the app.
Hey, Dad? Cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Hey, I'm Ariana. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Spicy Southwest salad is when I take a bite, it's like, wow, I'm getting a punch from the roasted corn. I'm getting a kick from the spicy chicken. It's just great.
Hi, this is Tori. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Cobb salad is the avocado lime dressing. It adds to the chicken, the bacon, and the roasted corn. It takes the salad to a whole nother level.
Order a salad for delivery on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
From our campus in Southeast Albuquerque, the Bernalillo County Department of Behavioral Health is here to serve our community 24/7 for the person prepared to take the first step towards sobriety and new beginnings, for the person in crisis experiencing behavioral health challenges, for the person ready to enter long-term sober living so they can rebuild a better, brighter future. We are here for you today and every day. Bernalillo County Care Campus, Southeast Albuquerque at 5901 Zuni.
This is Michael David from Seattle. I'm 51 years old, and 6 months ago, I started taking Andro 400 to increase my testosterone. Since then, I've lost 35 pounds of fat, and my waist went from size 38 to size 32. I have more energy, and I look and feel 20 years younger. And now my wife tells me I have to take Andro 400.
Hi, this is Ron Johnson from Utah. After 10 weeks of taking Andro 400, I lost 13 pounds and my waist went from 36 to 33. That was 8 years ago. I continue to take Andro 400 and I've maintained my weight at 172. Gained muscle and energy. I'm 63 now and feel better than I have in 30 years.
Andro 400, the natural way to increase testosterone, lose belly fat, gain energy, and feel great. Try Andro 400, the safe, effective, affordable way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Research shows listeners don't like it when ads interrupt their music. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance, we made this ad optional. If you want to skip this ad, remove your left earphone. Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
If you're missing this informative ad, you must love wasting your cash.
It's the easy and smart way to save.
Now it's all been said, so if that earphone was out, put it back in your head.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey, Dad? Cool if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends booster shots for people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series. Schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
The uh-ohs are out there. Scratches, dents, unexpected natural events. But with Mako and their magic, you're no longer tragic. So when life throws you uh-ohs, just say, better get Mako! And go to Mako.com to book your appointment today.
The Duke City's home for sports. 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Oh, good tune. Back to you.
Welcome back to the program, Duke City. You listen to 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Fred Slow is out on assignment. So privileged and honored to be joined by KOB TVs Brandon Ortega for the first 2 hours of the program. But now I'm all alone. Just me and Mikey. All by
two is better than one.
myself.
All right, let's go to break.
Don't want to be. Fred Slow will be back on Friday. Tomorrow, it's a Van and Friends show, so we have a different guest every segment. Going to have a lot of fun with it. We start our days at the YMCA, and you should too. The gym facilities are nicer than what you'd expect for a YMCA. It is a Class A athletic facility. My home gym is the Horn Branch on Indian School, and it's all the gym that I need plus more. Got boxing, got some athletic training, got just about everything you want out of a gym. Plus, what they do for community is absolutely commendable with the child care and the public assistance and support. We're so proud to be partnered and sponsored with the YMCA. Please give them your support and patronage. I honestly thought Rob Gronkowski would play until Tom Brady retired.
Thought they were going to go out together, right?
Can you imagine like that Hall of Fame speech if they retire the same year? Because Rob Gronkowski is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Tom Brady, we don't even need to talk about. I don't know how you have him ranked, but I got Gronk somewhere in between the second to fourth best tight end of all time, depending on criteria.
92 career touchdowns. Third all time with tight ends.
Rob Gronkowski had a touchdown in less than every 6 quarters. A game and a half couldn't go by before your tight end scored again. That's a cheat code.
That's a tight end.
That's insane.
Who was the last great player that Brady had on offense for when he was at New England?
Nobody. Nobody.
Yeah. Gronkowski was the last talented player he had on offense.
Randy Moss was a rental.
Yeah.
Right? He made Wes Welker. He made Julian Edelman. He didn't have anybody his whole career except for Gronkowski.
Gronk was the only one.
And Gronk was like the only like dominant Pro Bowler game changer that Brady ever had. Everything else that Brady ever did was game plan, was Brady being more talented and smarter and more prepared than the other guy. He never had the best lineup. He often had the best game plan. He often had the best coaches. He often had the best mental outlook for what was about to happen. But like I'm legit bummed out because he's fun to watch. And he's fun to see on the sideline. And he's fun to see after the game. It's fun to see his antics.
A lot of people think that that's, there's something with this guy. He doesn't take it serious because that's sometimes he plays so loose that that's what it seems like. But when you think about it, and he talked about it last year about when he retired number 1, this is his second retirement, Gronk. But when he talked about what the work that he put into every off season, it was like, this guy is not stupid. He knows what he's doing and he's got a plan and he did it right.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. But honestly, there's a piece of me that doesn't think he's leaving.
You think he'll come back?
Yeah.
I
think he's going to he's going to pull a Jordan Belfort from the Wolf of Wall Street. I ain't leaving. Ain't going nowhere. He's going to come back week 8, week 9. Tom Brady is going to be like, hey, dude, look. Michael Evans didn't come back from his injury that well. We ain't going to have no Antonio Brown back. Chris Godwin, we know all about him. I need you, buddy. Get back here, brother. Just name a party boat, and I will buy you the party boat. This is Tom Brady speaking, not me. I can't afford a party boat. Gronk, brother, I need you. We got to get another one. We got to throw this ring on. You want another ring? Gronk? Your name's Gronk. All you know is football. Gronk smash. So I bet Gronk comes, I don't know, week 8, week 9, week 10, unretires, takes it easy on his body, comes back, dominates again. Is that Pro Bowl piece that Tom Brady needs to get him one more championship, get another ring, and then ride off into the sunset together? Or, hear me out, be the next big WWE superstar. Because that's what Gronk's destined for, right? He's a big enough superstar. He's a big enough personality. He's a big enough name. He's either going to be in like B action movies or he's going to be in the WWE. He's not just going to retire and go fishing. He's like too big of a name. He's too big of a personality. You might see him like a reality show on Netflix, like America's Next Great Party Boat Captain or something. I don't know. He's going to do something. Have his own line of energy drinks with alcohol. I don't know. He's going to take over he's going to be the spokesperson for Bang with Booze or whatever it is, or Gronk grape juice or something. It's a grape Red Bull with 3 shots of vodka. I can see this happening. I'll take the line. If I could do a parlay, I will parlay WWE and B movie star over returning to the NFL. If he's not in the WWE or in a movie by week 8, he's coming back to play with Brady. Book it. Hey, cut that part out, Vitale. I want to prove it later. If Gronk is not in the WWE, if Gronk is not in a movie, if Gronk is not out endorsing his new line of alcohol-laden energy drinks, he's going to be back playing with Tom Brady. What are odds on that, Vitale? What do you think?
I saw an interview he did with NFL Network last week, and he seemed like he was at peace, and he was joking around about someone had asked him, is like, are you getting ready for the season? He goes, not really. I really like doing nothing right now. So I thought that was kind of a key as to what he was going to do, but I don't see him coming back in week 8. I don't.
That's crazy talk. Earlier in the year, he's at a barbershop and said he was just going to do this to toy with Tom Brady. This all might be a work. This all might be a joke on our behalf. He might be planning on playing on week 1. Maybe he just wants to skip the preseason and make it look like it. I don't know. But I already miss Gronk. And what I want to do when we get back is I want to hear Vitale's all-time tight end rankings. I want to see where he has Gronk ranked because I have him right behind number 1. More Gronk talk when we get back. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The Jim Rome Show.
The LA Rams did it again. This time they locked up wide receiver Cooper Kupp. The extension is 3 years for $80 million. And as much as that sounds like a gigantic stack of cash, it's actually a deal. Devontae Adams is special. So is Stephon Diggs and Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. But Kupp has the Super Bowl MVP on his shelf. He is the gold standard. And right now, so are the Rams.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Did you know the average home loses 25 to 40% of heated and cooled air through cracks and crevices in the duct system? Daniels Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning offers the AeroSeal process to seal, reinforce, and energize your duct system. How about an average energy savings of 30% while drastically increasing your comfort? Call my friends at Daniels today and ask about AeroSeal for your home, 898-8860.
You want it right today. Get it done the Daniels way. Daniels Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, over-designed, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 7730 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 7730. Enjoy.
We now have more ways to fight COVID than ever with oral treatments for individuals at high risk for severe COVID who test positive.
And they can be taken from the comfort of home.
These treatments, if taken within 5 days of the first sign of symptoms, are effective at reducing the risk of hospitalization and severe outcomes.
This is a game changer for New Mexico.
For more information and to access treatment, visit findatreatmentnm.com.
At Boost Mobile, you get the power of the iPhone SE when you switch, which means the power to stream your favorite shows, download all the music, the power to FaceTime your ex.
It's over. Stop calling me.
On second thought, don't call your ex. Get an iPhone SE for just $19.99 when you switch. All on one of America's largest 5G networks. More power to save. Boost Mobile. Phone offer limited to new customers and one per line. Additional restrictions apply. 5G not available everywhere. See boostmobile.com for details. And stop calling your ex. She doesn't want to hear from you anymore.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. You're driving along and some nimrod cuts you off. You hit the horn. Jeez, it sounds like a goose in distress. Time to head over to eBay Motors. They have horns for every make and model, not to mention horn pads, steering wheels, wiring, and more. 122 million parts. You can even go for an upgrade. It looks like Mr. Cutoff Man needs a new seat cover. Try eBay Motors, pal. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Home title theft. It's on the rise, and it's devastating if it happens to you. Listen to the alarming words of an actual home title thief.
I don't need to know your date of birth and social security number. All I have to do is go to public records, create a document, and file that document. And then I can borrow against the house or sell the house. You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. The instant they detect any tampering, you'll get an alert. And that's bad news for home title thieves.
So the problem with a company like Home Title Lock is that they can get me in the middle of the crime, and that's your worst fear.
Are you already a victim? Find out today with your free title scan and complete title report. $100 value, free with sign up. Just go to HomeTitleLock.com. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
This is where New Mexico comes for sports. 95.9 FM.
Tight ends. Here we go.
The Sports Animal.
Is it really already 6:30?
Sure is. Still
My
light
goodness.
out, too. It's second day of summer.
Summer solstice. Day after summer solstice, isn't that right?
Yes.
Is that right?
Think.
Sure. We'll just say yes. 505-246-0610. Is it the summer solstice? The day after the summer solstice?
The day after. Yesterday was the longest day in the year. Solstice.
We're in the John Lopez Real Estate and Coldwell Banker Legacy Studio. For all your real estate needs, make sure you check out John Lopez. He's the best in the business. So honored to have him as part of the team, whether we're here, 5th floor downtown, Bank of the West building, or if we're out in the community doing a live remote. John Lopez Real Estate has our back, and he's got your back, Albuquerque. All right. Gronk retired. I think it's a work. I think he's fooling us. I think he's going to play another season with Tom Brady. So I think he will be back this season. Logically, I think he's just taking a break. He's going to pull the Roger Clemens. He's going to come back halfway through the season, only play when he wants to, and turn it up to 11 like only Rob Gronkowski can do in the playoffs and help Tom Brady get another ring. But let's say he does retire. Let's say that's it. Where does Rob Gronkowski fit on the all-time tight end list? And Vitale, I got 3 different criteria, okay? Let's talk about the first one first. An all-time career, okay? I'm going to tell you my rankings. You got yours? What do you want to do? Top 5?
Top 5, top 3, top 5 is good. I got enough for that.
No more than 5. We'll do 5. Okay, number 1, and I think this is undisputed, all-time best tight end, and I think our answer is going to be the same, Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah, actually, I have my number 1 too.
Okay, so I think for a whole career, you cannot argue. Tony Gonzalez has all the records, catches, yards, touchdowns, everything. Pro Bowl selections, all pros, everything. No one can touch Tony. Played 6 more years than Gronk. Compiled an insane more amount of numbers. Number 1, I got Tony Gonzalez, and I don't think it's an argument. Okay.
I got to sidestep and go backwards here.
Uh-oh.
I'd say the one of the people that changed the position and what it was and how it is used now, the tight end position, is Kellen Winslow.
You are so right.
I just think his athleticism was incredible when he played during his time.
Friend of the show, Craig Gronk will come out with his own cannabis brand eventually. I think it's more booze for Gronk, so probably like some CBD or some kind of like hippie infused alcohol, or like I said earlier, like a energy drink with booze. I think it's more on brand.
Vodka, he loves vodka.
Yeah, like a vodka seltzer with some caffeine or something maybe. That's more on brand. So you got Kellen Winslow number 2.
Yes.
I don't see a bad argument there. And let me tell you, because I got him number 3.
Hey, we're pretty close here to this list. What are you doing, looking at my list?
Well, I mean, we're 1 off already, so it's not that close. So I got Kellen Winslow 3, Tony Gonzalez number 1, and number 2, I have Antonio Gates. So
that was one I considered because both Winslow and Gates are Chargers.
Yeah.
And I think Winslow just and how he transcended that position.
Gates did it for 16 years. He's the second most prolific tight end. Catches, touchdowns, everything. His stats say he's the second best. I really considered putting Kellen Winslow second because he revolutionized the game. I mean, sorry, not the game, the position, had more of an impact on the position historically. So that was a tough one for me. And then coming in fourth, well, I'm sorry. Who do you got third, Vitale?
Ozzie Newsome.
Oh, okay. You're going backwards. I like this a lot. That's a really good answer. I got Ozzie sixth. In fourth, I have the man, the legend, Rob Gronkowski. I think Rob Gronkowski, if you take the whole career into account, he's the fourth best tight end of all time. And then fifth, I got Shannon Sharp. And then Ozzie was my honorable mention. Okay, so you got Tony Gonzalez 1, Kellen Winslow 2, and then you said Ozzie 3 or Gates 3?
No, I have Ozzie Newsome number 3.
Ozzie 3.
Yes.
And who's your 4?
I would have to say, this is kind of tough. Dave Casper of the Oakland Raiders.
Okay, we're going way back. That wasn't enough of a career there.
Either that or Jay Novacek. I thought he was great with the Cowboys, but I like Dave Casper.
If you're going that far, you can talk Ditka or Witten. John Mackey, who I'm not really familiar with, way before my time. Honorable mention for me, 6th place or 7th place, whatever, Ozzie Newsome. And then honorable mention on his way up is the man right now, Travis Kelce. If he stays healthy and keeps putting some numbers, he'll be in the top 5 easy. Okay, Vitale. Now here's the next criteria. This isn't the whole career. This is impact on one game. Okay. If you had one tight end for one game, who would it be?
That is tough.
Okay.
For one game, I'd say for one game, Gronkowski,
Same.
because I think he was that. I mean, he had 17 touchdowns this past season. That's still incredible for an older guy.
It's insane.
Yeah. The
Nobody
impact.
in the history of his position altered the game plan like Gronkowski.
That's who you had too, right?
I had him number
Oh,
one.
okay. Wow.
So if one game, I need a tight end for one game.
Yeah, I
it's
like that.
It's Rob Gronkowski, and I got Rob Gronkowski first, second, and third for the guys I want. We could start talking about fourth and fifth place. He's the most dominant of all time. It's insane. So let's entertain this a little bit more. So for one game, Gronk, we both agree on that one. Who do you got next if you just got a guy for one game?
For one game.
Yeah.
Boy, that's hard. It would have to be. I like Tony Gonzalez. I thought he was.
That's a great answer.
That or Kelsey, because
Yeah.
Kelsey is such a game changer. Man, that's tough.
If I can't draft Gronkowski for one game, I'm taking Mike Ditka. I'm taking Ditka, baby.
Ditka.
I'm taking Ditka every time. If I can't have Gronkowski, I'm taking Ditka because he is just dirt in his fingernails football player. There's a reason he got all those coaching jobs. It's a reason that he got all those mustache promotional deals and cigar deals. He's a bad dude. And besides that, I'm taking Tony Gonzalez. Okay.
Yeah, Gonzalez, man. The tight end position is no position in football has changed as much as, to me, the tight end position. It gets more and more athletic with the guy. Who's that guy, the first round last year with Atlanta? Oh, who was that guy? It was a great impact in his first year. I can't remember. Well, anyhow.
Kyle Pitts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The game is changing. That guy can block. And that was what Gronkowski did that a lot of people didn't realize, is that he blocked really well.
That's true. It is a true statement. When we get back, we're going to do some quick hitters. A couple subjects me and Vitale are going to hit on before we wrap up the program and send it over to the Isotopes. No, we got to go national for like 30 minutes, don't we?
Yeah, we'll go national for about 40, 45 minutes, and then the Isotopes start at 7:45 pregame. First pitch 8:05 right here.
What's the guy coming next? Zeke Gorb? What is it? Zeke?
Oh, Zach Gelb.
Yeah, that guy.
He's really good.
That guy. Sure.
Yeah, you'd want to pay attention to what he has to say. He does
Deal.
a good job.
All right, now the third criteria for me to really judge who's the greatest tight end of all time. Who could party? Who's the GOAT tight end partier of all time? And this isn't a discussion. So I'm just going to write Gronk on my sheet of paper over and over and over again. His life off the field is crazy insane. And basically, I'm assuming 95% of the listenership, all the loyal listeners out there, all the friends of the show, he's got to be number one on your list of dudes you want to party with, too. So if we take into account a whole career, okay, and I got him fourth, and if you wanted to argue that he's second, I'd agree with you. If you want to talk about who you want for one game, it's Gronk. If you want to talk about who can party the hardest and show up on Sunday, it's Gronk. So me, with all that criteria together, I'm saying, loyal listener, friend of the show, we just witnessed the greatest tight end in the history of football retire. I said it out loud. You can take that clip out, send it to my boss, write it down, put it on a t-shirt. I don't care. Rob Gronkowski is the GOAT. Quick hitters when we get back. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Celebrate great sleep at Mattress Firm's July 4th sale. Visit the sleep experts and save up to $500 on select mattresses from top brands. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying purchase. This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm.
This is Andrew Perloff with the CBS Sportsman. It's sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. It's fair to say that the NBA draft has fallen pretty far behind the NFL draft in terms of interest. The problem is that players don't stay in college for more than 1 year. So most of us aren't quite sure what our teams are getting. NBA drafts are best judged with a lot of distance. Who knows? Maybe there's a Giannis or an Embiid in this year's draft.
That's what she talked in the first hour yesterday. A. Murray. He's a day.
So sticky.
At Hannah's Organic Honey, business may be sweet, but they need an e-commerce queen bee to lead the hive.
Okay, these jars are going to Jakarta. Oh, wait a minute. Does that say Jackson?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credit.
What was it you were going to talk about next?
Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Just some quick hitters.
Hey, Dad.
Okay.
What if I change this?
They may not get each other's music, but they can both get a COVID-19 booster shot. Because the CDC recommends people 12 years and older after completion of a primary series.
Wow, is that incredible?
An appointment as soon as you are eligible.
The bad franchises are ugh.
Hi, Jeanette here with Highland Rental, reminding any
Whatever you want, I'll follow.
variety of party rentals. Our staff is ready and happy to help you with your selection of tables, chairs, linen, and more. We offer delivery and setup to help make your event stress-free. Come see us today. We're located at 8702 Manal Boulevard Northeast, open Monday through Saturday.
That for a long time, the Jaguars hardly had any scouts or like draft personnel. Same with Cincinnati.
Or visit our website at highlandrental.net. I'll see you soon.
At Boost Mobile, you get the power of the iPhone SE when you switch, which means the power to stream your favorite shows, download all the music, the power to FaceTime your ex.
It's over. Stop calling me.
On second thought, don't call your ex. Get an iPhone SE for just $19.99 when you switch. All on one of America's largest 5G networks. More power to save. Boost Mobile. Phone offer limited to new customers and one per line. Additional restrictions apply. 5G not available everywhere. See boostmobile.com for details. And stop calling your ex. She doesn't want to hear from you anymore.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. You're driving along and some nimrod cuts you off. You hit the horn. Jeez, it sounds like a goose in distress. Time to head over to eBay Motors. They have horns for every make and model, not to mention horn pads, steering wheels, wiring, and more. 122 million parts. You can even go for an upgrade. Looks like Mr. Cutoff Man needs a new seat cover. Try eBay Motors, pal. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
50 years, 50 events. Celebrate the 50th anniversary of El Rancho de las Golondrinas, New Mexico's premier living history museum south of Santa Fe. Immerse yourself in the past as you stroll the 200-acre ranch, featuring 34 historic buildings and working mills. Come to a festival weekend and enjoy food, local artists, and entertainment. Go to golondrinas.org for more information. Paid for by El Rancho de las Golondrinas.
Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Wake up with the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
You're up.
Welcome back, Duke City. We're about to close it out here on 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. Hell of a program today. Enjoyed every second of it, except for the first segment where we had tech diffs, but we powered through it, didn't we?
That's radio.
That's radio. It happens, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Vitale, that's life.
Yeah.
That's life, brother. You think you're just going to just fly through life and
ease and comfort for the rest of your life? No way. Yeah.
People fan you and feed you grapes your whole life. That's not how it works.
It'd be nice, but
even for a skinny, handsome white guy, that's not how it works.
Not realistic.
Not realistic whatsoever. Thanks for all the texters and callers today. Really appreciate the input. Really appreciate you being a friend of the show. You're always welcome to call or come on the Facebook live chat. Text 505-246-0610. Call in if you're brave enough. I promise, unless you say something really horrible about a protective group of people, I'm going to let you have your moment, and I'm going to comment on it, and I'm not going to be mean. Fred Slow, though, maybe. I saw a crazy story, and we briefly talked about it during the break, so I'm kind of hitting you with it on short notice, but the Phoenix Suns have a total of 14 people employed in basketball operations, okay? That's everybody, every scout, every development coach, every strategist, everybody involved in the sport of basketball for the Phoenix Suns. I'm not talking about advertising and marketing and promotions and all that stuff. That's different. So basketball operations, the Phoenix Suns have a total of 14 people that work for them, okay? That's crazy. If you want a comparison, the Los Angeles Clippers have 14 people just in their scouting department.
Really?
That's not coaching.
Wow.
It's not coaching. It's not player development. That's not scouting. That's that is scouting. That's not what's the word I'm looking for here? Advancement. It's just 14 people scouting for the Clippers. The Suns have 14 people employed in all of basketball operations.
But their owner's a cheapskate. So
Coaches, trainers, player development.
That's crazy.
It's bonkers. And except for their meltdown in the playoffs this year, the Suns have been an up-and-coming franchise for a few years now. If they keep their core, they're going to be competitive for a long time. So if you take the Clippers, for example, they got 14 people just in the scouting. And probably in between, they weren't sure, they couldn't find out exactly, but 40 to 50 people working in their basketball operations. And that's just basketball operations. Again, not advertising, not marketing, none of that other peripheral stuff that it takes to run an organization. But it's crazy, like how you have the exact same sport, the exact same rules, the exact same dimensions of the court, but the way an organization is ran is so completely different in two organizations that are in the same division. They have equal talent levels, equal budgets, and they're so wildly different. I wonder if it's like that in other sports, because I don't know a comparison. I know you could have wildly different budgets. I know scouting and player development might be better on other teams than not, and you draft poorly, develop poorly. But as far as like the vision of an organization, I don't see anything as different as what the Phoenix Suns are doing to the rest of the league. Have you even heard of this before?
Yeah, that's shocking. I mean, but for years they were nobodies, kind of like the Sacramento Kings, teams that you don't even pay attention to because they're running a shoestring budget and the commitment to winning isn't there like it would be for like what you said the Clippers do. I mean, you look at the tech giant that the owner of the LA Clippers is. I mean, what he's done to turn that team around, private jet and everything just to invest. I mean, look at the guy for the Mavericks. Who's that owner? Oh, he's on
Cuban.
Look what he's done. I mean, he's just raised it to another level, and you have to if you want to be in one of the elite teams.
Well, maybe the Phoenix Suns are on to something. Maybe they have some kind of
Maybe cheap is the way to go now. I don't know.
And what there is, I mean, I'll quote, the constraints are not financial. And this is a direct quote. We will continue to intentionally build a group that can excel at identifying the modern player as the NBA continues to evolve. So, I mean, it's on purpose. Like, this is by design that they have a tiny team of people that give actual input to the way the team is ran.
It's kind of like the Billy Ball person or that mindset philosophy.
Vitale, you beat me to it.
Oh, really?
I was
didn't mean to do that.
No. It's because you're such a great sports mind, my friend.
You and I are smart because we're on the same wavelength.
Wicked schmat. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Like, the Suns might be on to some kind of Moneyball situation that the rest of the league doesn't know yet. So if the Suns have some sustained success over the next couple years and they do it their own way, they might be revolutionizing the game right in front of our eyes right now. Usually the last segment of the show is the I-9 varsity, but I left so much on the table today. Like there's tons of topics and conversations that we have to wait for until tomorrow that I had to cover a few more things during the program. So gonna have another great program tomorrow, chock full of entertaining sports stories, sports adjacent content, and a lot of fun, a lot of jokes. And tomorrow we're doing a Van and Friend show. So expect a new guest every segment, or just about every segment. We're going to hit different topics every segment. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. You need to check out I-9. Is your kid interested in sports or any kind of sports adjacent programs? Check out League Office 280 by I-9. It's i9sports.com. League Office 280. League Office 280 at i9sports.com. Office numbers 505-312-4999. They are super excited to answer any of your questions about supporting your child and their interests. And they don't just do sports. Like I said, you can do sports adjacent things. Maybe it's extreme sports. Maybe it's some kind of art. Maybe it's something that you haven't considered I-9 Sports League office for. Give them a call. Pick their brain a little bit. I'm assuming they could help. They're the absolute best in the business.
Now that basketball's over and it's the second day of summer, what do you hang your hat on for what you like to see in terms of sporting events?
Oh my God, dude. Like, dumbest question ever. I'm a baseball dork.
Right.
I'm up at the lab a few times a week. I'm watching my beloved Astros on TV almost every day. If there's a great pitching matchup, if there's two number one starters going up against each other, I want to see the best play against the best. I watch a lot of baseball at this time of the year. There's no wait for the All-Star break for me. There's no wait till the end of the season, till the playoff races have coalesced. I watch a ton of baseball.
So weekly, you're into the baseball.
Multiple games. Yeah, I attend.
Yeah, wow.
I attend multiple Isotopes games every week, whether it's for the whole game or a couple innings. And then I'll watch baseball on television and I will study the stats and study the trends. I'm a dork.
No, that's pretty cool.
I have a fantasy
There's
baseball
a lot of
team.
people like that and back east where I'm from.
I can do
Just love to just go in depth into their team.
I could do 3 hours on fantasy baseball every day.
Oh.
But I will drive away all but like 5 of my listeners. Could you imagine 3 hours of fantasy baseball every day?
Too much.
After 5 minutes, you click over. Got a great show for you tomorrow. Had a great show today. Appreciate all of our partners and sponsors in the community. John Lopez Real Estate, Coldwell Banker Legacy, New Mexico Pinon Coffee, of course, I-9, which I just mentioned, the YMCA, our friends at Hollow Spirits. We do all of New Mexico United watch parties at Hollow Spirits. And Vitale, I just mentioned being up at the lab, and every time I'm up at the lab, I have some Teller vodka by Safe House Distilling, pre-made spirits, whether it's a watermelon walk-off or a grapefruit lemonade or a blueberry lemonade. Like, I always have a Teller pre-made cocktail in my hand when I'm up at the lab. Thanks to the friends of the show. Thanks for the calls and the texts today. Really appreciate you. Tons of more sports adjacent content. We'll tell you what the heartbeat of the sports world is tomorrow on the program. You've been listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Stand by and wait till I get into the CBS and then I can do tomorrow's tease.